radio's dirty little secret. And it's all legal. Breakdown, baby.
Who the hell is this?
Alan, you have been described by your enemies as evil, insane, manipulative. Who are you?
To examine it would be to demystify it.
Take it with a tasty groove, okay?
Wow. It definitely makes me cringe.
Very, very, very painful.
1, 2, 3, kick it. Kick it. Come on. God damn it. Could you one time kick it? What the
You're disgusting.
It's showtime!
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7
You ignorant trick bastard.
WMMS.
Cleveland.
Say hello to Bill Squire, who is back.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this. Listening to what? I'm on DayQuil.
It's okay. I got you.
I'm on DayQuil.
I assume.
I'm jacked up on goofballs.
You're on that lean.
Yeah. So thanks for listening and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share a cold one with the boys. I might have been saying that right. It just felt weird saying it. I
understand.
Yeah.
Say hi to Poundcake, who's back behind the glass.
Afternoon, white people. Happy TBT.
Oh, it is a TBT. Mm-hmm. I was going through some photos the other night, and from way back, right after I came to Cleveland, when I did, when I went to LA to interview Conan, when he was first making the move to TBS. And I was going to post the photo of me and Conan.
Why didn't
for
you?
my Throwback Thursday. I forgot about it. Yeah. Wasn't that important until you just reminded me.
Well, luckily, the day's not over yet, so you still have time.
Oh, man,
that's
I'll tell
so
you what.
exciting.
You know, you can always make more money, Poundcake. Can't make more time. Wow.
That's right.
Look at this guy. Hey, you want to join us? If you feel like wasting your time, please do. I'd love to have you. 216-578-1007. 800-348-1007. Mary Santora out today, by the way. She's on the road for a while.
Basically till December.
Yeah. 800-348-1007. 35192. If you want to text me. And everything else, just go to AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch the show. As Bill said, you can listen anywhere throughout North America on the iHeartRadio app. You can get to us through social media there, email, the whole shebang. Feel free, and there's all kinds of fun stuff there for you, too. You know? Feel free to use it as your little playground, I guess.
I just posted this video of this little 9-year-old black girl drummer, and she is awesome. Because she's okay at drumming, but she's just hilarious while she's drumming.
She's enjoying playing.
Yeah, she's enjoying playing, and she's like screaming and playing, just having an awesome time playing some different songs.
I love when little kids pick up the drums.
It's great.
I wasn't that
It's
young
fun.
when I started playing, and my grandmother brought me my first drum kit.
She's playing In Bloom and just screaming along with it. It's
there you
great.
go.
All I know is do-do, 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 do-do. And I can only do that on my
the
air
Phil
drums.
Collins song? Mm-hmm. In the Air Tonight?
Mm-hmm. And I can only do it in the air, like right now.
You can only play drums in the air tonight?
Yes.
Right.
It only sounds good when I do it in the air.
But do you know what you're hitting?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, absolutely not.
Well, then what do you know that you're doing? You know the timing of it.
Yeah, the timing.
I watched.
I see.
I think I probably got high and watched that like concert, like
Yeah.
that song live in concert, and I just looked at his hands. And I was like, wow, here it comes.
Except now, because Phil Collins had serious back problems, and so he's on tour again, but he's not playing the drums. He said, I'll probably never be able to play the drums again, because it is very difficult on your lower spine. So his son, talk about nepotism working in your favor, his son, who is 16, is the drummer on his tour. When I saw Phil Collins in the late 80s, this guy Chester Thompson was Phil Collins' longtime tour drummer, phenomenal drummer. Not sure if the guy's still around, but he's not touring with Phil Collins because Phil Collins has a teenage son who's taking up the family business, and he goes, "Hey, can I go out on tour with you?" Or he brings his kid out, and it's fun. And
but I don't feel like that's
wouldn't
nepotism.
want to do that?
I was gonna say I don't feel like that's nepotism though. If you have the talent, I feel like nepotism is putting someone in. Like,
Well, nepotism isn't just something that's devoid of talent. It's if you get a gig because you're related to the person in charge.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it if it's if you have the talent to do it. If it's well
I'll
deserved.
put it to you this way. Phil Collins is a fantastic drummer, and I guarantee you that his 16-year-old son is not nearly as talented as the guys who have gone on tour with Phil Collins in the past. Grown-ass men who've been playing for 35, 40 years. There's simply no way that his son is that good. However, it's his son. He wants to spend some time with him. What a great way to do it. Phil Collins can do songs that his son is a good enough drummer to make that whole thing work.
And if he was awful, he wouldn't be on the show. Like, he must be.
Well, no,
pretty
of course
good.
not.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
But again, before anybody goes on tour, they do rehearsals. So his son could have literally learned the songs they're going to play. Those might be the only songs he knows. You know what I mean?
Well, if he can play them, then
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if he can play them, that's right.
And it's cute.
I haven't seen that permutation of it. But, I like seeing, because there are a couple of prodigy drummers online, too. If you really go down a rabbit hole on YouTube, you'll see, 4- and 5-year-old kids who can barely reach the kick drum, but they get all the stuff up top right.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Phil Collins.
And it's pretty wild to watch.
Phil Collins' son can get it, and I can say that because he's 18 now. So.
Oh, you mean he's attractive?
He's a good-looking kid.
Well, that Lily Collins is his daughter, and she is cute as a button,
that
I
is
think.
not the one that sings The Fear. That's his daughter.
She's an actress. I don't know. Lily Collins is his daughter, yeah.
She was in, that...
Vampire stuff, wasn't she?
She was in, a Cinderella movie with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking Lily Allen. That was a...
No, she's going out with David Harbour. She's going out with Hopper from Stranger Things. That's Lily Allen. But Lily Collins and,
Oh, his daughter. Okay.
Yeah. Phil Collins, very talented guy. One of the best shows to this day that I've ever seen was Phil Collins. And he would play on other people's albums. And you could always tell when Phil Collins was playing on a Clapton album or anyone else's album.
Because he would be like, do you remember?
No, it wasn't that. No, playing the drums. He'd play, because he plays those garbage can drums. They had no bottom heads. They were like a garbage can. And so they had these huge sounds to them. He was never going to play in a tiny little jazz band because he had these huge, just bottomless sounding drums. But if you were, going on an arena tour with Eric Clapton, they sounded great. So it must really suck if you're, if you can't physically do it anymore. Because if you see Phil Collins now in this tour, he sits in a chair. He sits at the front of the stage with a microphone and the band's all playing behind him. But he's like, I can't play anymore because my back is shot. And that sucks. I mean, he made his money. The guy, he's been divorced 19 times,
I saw
he's
that.
remarried to his ex-wife, I think. The last one he divorced, he ended up remarrying after 5 or 6 years because he's like, I'm tired of giving all my stuff away. It's like Kelsey Grammer.
Well, he's silly. We have a prenup.
Prenup is not conducive to true love, Poundcake. I'm just telling you.
Oh, who cares? He's married for true love.
I'm with you, but I've been married twice, and I never had a prenup. And I'm not making millions of dollars.
Well,
contrary to what Google says.
He's less than smart. I feel like everyone on his staff would sign an NDA, and everyone that he marries would sign a prenuptial agreement.
Unless
these things are so easy to get. You make it sound like...
But he is the breadwinner.
But here's the thing.
If
you met the woman that you love and you want her to marry you, and she says, I don't want to sign a prenup, you're not going to put a prenup in front of her.
But you can literally say, you're not entitled to everything. I'll break you off, $5 or $6 million. And
well, no, you'll have to break off wherever they live dictates you break off. There are some states that are brutal to get divorced in.
It's very romantic, though, to plan your breakup while you're falling in love with somebody.
That's right.
I'm just saying, if we break up, your prenuptial agreement says every year that we're married, you get $500,000.
Listen, that's why I don't worry about you getting married and your financial situation, because you have it all figured out. Mm-hmm. You're going to be just fine.
I figured.
There you go. When it comes time for you to split that $30,000 you're making right down the middle.
$30,000? Oh my God, that's so much.
I mean, in 10 years, you're gonna be set.
Okay.
You better not be making $30,000 in 10 years. You've been making a hell of a lot more than that.
Oh my gosh. On my OnlyFans, I'll probably make a little bit more than that.
I hope you do.
Everyone was really in my DMs because I made that joke last night about Disney Plus, and they were like, "Do you really have an OnlyFans? Where is it? Can I subscribe?" I'm like, damn, maybe I should get one if that's the case.
Wait, well, you made what joke?
I put it on my Instagram at Radio Code TV. I said, I spent too much this month on Netflix and OnlyFans. Can I watch someone else's, or I said weed and OnlyFans. Can I watch someone's Disney Plus?
Yeah.
And people were commenting like, do you really, wait, can I search you? Like, do you really have an OnlyFans? I'm like, no!
Yeah, I got some thoughts on that Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I'll illuminate you with them. Hey, I got Magic of Lights passes for you after this break. It starts Thanksgiving Eve, the 27th, and goes through January 4th out at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds in Berea. It's always fun. You drive through, pack the family in, the lights and the holiday and the whole thing. So if you want to go through that, I'll hook you up after the break. 35192 if you want to text for anything else.
I'll say this slow so Steelers fans can understand.
holidays means the magic of lights. You can experience the festive drive-through light display at Magic of Lights. It kicks off November 27th, Thanksgiving Eve. Goes through January 4th out at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds in Berea. Drive-through holiday lights. Characters of the season, the latest LED technology. They do a hell of a job out there. I packed a little one in the car, and we go check it out every year. Magic of Lights. Pass is here for you if you're caller 12. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Now we come to a very important section. One that everyone dreads, or is embarrassed by, or tries to avoid completely.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
That you came to party, baby. Look like we're gonna lead this party with somebody else.
I'm partying downtown tonight, William. On a school night, I'm going out.
Gots to.
Baby.
Gots to get down on a Thursday.
Browns home game tonight, so I'm doing the Cox Out pregame. Starts at 6 o'clock. And we're out of here today early because of the Cavs game. They pushed that up.
Darn.
It's working out perfectly. 6 to 8. Tonight at the Ivy, right downtown, 1212 West 6th Street, right there at the corner of West 6th and Lakeside. We do the Cox Out before every single Browns home game. The Stillers are in town tonight, and so we're going to be partying downtown. So after the show today, I'm hauling ass down there, going to have a Bud Light in my hand, hang out with some peeps. I can't wait. And then King Diamond tomorrow night. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm feeling all right.
Wish I was.
I know, I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, I have a lot of good things going on. Get my keys tomorrow.
Hey!
It's all happening.
For Squifle Tower.
Yep.
Congratulations. That took a little bit longer than you thought, I think.
Yes, it did. It took quite some time,
It always does, yeah.
It was there was a lot of rigmarole that went into getting that place. But tomorrow is the day. I get the keys, start moving stuff in, and just start settling into the new digs.
Good for you.
I'm excited.
Congratulations.
And if you go to my Instagram, you can get a little preview of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did the final walkthrough today. You can see the view that I'll have.
You mean the view that the ladies are going to see?
Yeah, if they are so lucky.
If you like picking out albums, that's the view you're going to have. Yeah, people thought Bill was out sick yesterday. People thought that I was sick or something because I ran a best of. Bill was out sick. Mary's on the road, and I'm like, nobody wants to hear me and Poundcake chop it up for 4 hours. So I called an audible. But I was here. Yesterday was actually, it was weird because I'm putting the best of together, but I was like getting all this other stuff done that I just normally don't have time to do. And then went home, installed a new thermostat, watched a little bit of the impeachment proceedings.
Is that on Disney Plus?
It is not on Disney Plus. Nope. I thought it was. I was looking all over for that. No, they said that they weren't going to have any R-rated material on Disney Plus. Although the impeachment proceedings, they were pretty. It was pretty PG-13.
Yeah, I didn't have the mind to even deal with that yesterday. All I did was watch Simpsons on Disney Plus, and I wish they would put it back to the original aspect.
Oh, you did watch some of it?
Yeah. I was just like in and out of like NyQuil Twilight.
Yeah.
So like I'd turn it on and then doze off, then wake up, and it'd be like 2 seasons later, it'd be like, huh? How long was I out?
Well, that's the weird thing with Disney Plus, too, that I notice is when you turn your television off, at least when I turned my television off upstairs in the bedroom, it didn't shut the app off.
Yeah, because it's running on it doesn't know the TV's off.
All my other apps stop.
Oh.
So I turn it back on, and it's like 4 episodes. I watched the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Which was good.
Was not. But
no,
I'm hoping,
you didn't like it?
Not that first episode.
Oh, I liked it.
Boring.
I thought it was fun. A lot of shooting.
Yeah, a lot of shooting, but I mean, I expect that.
That's what I wanted.
So, but I'm going to watch it. I'm
space shooting.
I'm still excited about it. It's just it didn't exactly come out of the gate like I thought it would.
Werner Herzog is creepy as hell in that.
Yeah,
just like not even like in like
any
a
old
scary
German,
way.
Any old German dude is going to sound creepy.
Yeah, just like in like I don't like this guy. Why do they have to cast him? Couldn't they put somebody else in there? Yeah. It makes me uncomfortable.
Understood. Hold on.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm okay. I got it. Yeah. Thank you to Subway, by the way. I saw you guys chowing on some Subway.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
I needed that.
Subway's got the. I'll just read this for you because Subway was kind enough to drop some food off. in the office, the ultimate cheesy garlic bread is back. You know, they do this from time to time over at Subway, if you spend any amount of time there. And you'll get into the habit, if you like the cheesy garlic bread, of ordering it. And then one day you'll go in and they'll say, well, we're not doing that right now. And then it'll make some people unhappy. So they brought it back. So you can get your favorite sandwich on ultimate cheesy garlic bread.
For a while, I thought they took away the raspberry cheesecake cookies, which are like my favorite cookies.
Raspberry cheesecake cookies.
I went in there. I was like, can I have your raspberry cheesecake cookies? And she's like, oh, we're out. And I'm like, oh, there's like no more like on display. And she's like, no, like we're not selling them anymore. I said, what you mean? And then one day I came back in and they were back.
There you go.
There must have been a bunch of people just
by
like
popular
me.
demand. Asking for them by name. Is that what you do?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I would say, give me four raspberry cheesecake cookies.
4 of them.
2 for right now and then 2 for when I'm high.
What about 1 for right now and 3 for when you're high? I feel like that ratio might be a little bit off.
Or that could work too.
Yeah, I was going to say. You probably you'd be more of in a needing cookies phase when you're high than when you're not.
Yes, but those specific cookies are like crack. You can't have just one.
Okay.
Like if you had one raspberry...
Is it still Otis Spunkmeyer cookies over there?
I don't know what that is.
That was for a long time. That's the brand of cookie that they... Anyway, thank you to Subway. They dropped some food off. Ultimate cheesy
Otis
garlic bread.
Spunkmeyer?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
That was the brand that...
Sounds like the guy that Rose was going to marry on the Titanic.
Billy Zane played Otis Spunkmeyer in
It'll
Titanic.
Be part of the Spunkmeyer.
Yeah. Would you like to join the Spunkmeyer clan, my love?
Very bougie name.
Otis Spunkmeyer. Yeah, they're.
You better be bougie with a last name like Spunkmeyer.
Mm-hmm.
You better have money.
Like, what if you don't?
Yeah, if you don't have money and your name's Spunkmeyer. Oh no.
Parma Spunkmeyers.
Of the Parma Spunkmeyers. Yes, well, my father, when he came over on the boat, his name was Stephen Punkmeyer, and then he just, they wrote his name wrong. It was S. Punkmeyer, and they wrote it wrong, and they thought his surname was Spunkmeyer, and he took Otis after he stepped into an elevator for the first time. No, it's a cookie company that their claim to fame is they make them without, what do you call high fructose corn syrup.
Oh.
Anyway, Subway has been around for a long, long time, and I just remember in college, they would have the sign by the cookies that proudly emblazoned with the Otis Spunkmeyer logo. I don't know if that's still the case. But anyway, thank you to Subway for bringing that food.
Well, back in my sandwich artist days, we made them fresh.
Oh, that's right. You were...
Well, not fresh. They were frozen, but we'd cook them, and they would be cooked fresh.
Then how have you never heard of Otis Spunkmeyer?
Because we weren't using... It was the 2000s. So I worked there in like early 2000s.
Did they stop and bring them back? I mean, early 90s, it was Otis Spunkmeyer.
Well, this is not. This is.
I know, but
2000s.
they changed up their cookie distributor?
It wasn't Otis Spunkmeyer. It didn't say Otis Spunkmeyer. It was Subway brand cookies.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe when they first got going, they needed a cookie business, a cookie company, and then they go, hey, we're doing pretty well. Let's start doing Subway cookies.
Those cookies are so damn good.
All right.
So damn good. Like, I try to stop myself from getting them. And they're like, would you like anything else? I'm like, no. Yeah,
all right.
Give me
more
2.
cookies.
Give me 2.
Oh, I have gone into Subway, not in a long time, but I have gone into Subway before and said, give me one of each. If I have a real, like, sweet tooth hankering, I say, give me one of each, and they'll kind of take that half second because they don't think that they heard you right, because they go, this guy can't clearly want that many cookies. And I go, yeah, give me one of each.
It's perfect because, like, whatever savory sub you get, then you get like something.
You get your little dessert afterwards.
Oh, my God. Like, it's my kryptonite.
You can buy them in bulk from Sam's Club, people are telling me.
Oh, really?
The raspberry cheesecake ones?
Otis Spunkmeyer.
Oh,
so if you really want to put some money back into the Spunkmeyer clan's pocket...
I'll ask for Christmas. Get some cookies.
All I want for Christmas is my Otis Spunkmeyer cookies.
I'll take the Kirkland.
You think...
Kirkland cookies.
Listen, all I know is... when I was in my constitutional law class many, many years ago in college, and we had to study Supreme Court decisions, when Kirkland v. Spunkmeyer came up, I don't have to tell you who won. Hey, maybe you can win. I got $1,000 here for you. It's a chance to go fund yourself. You get one every single hour. I hope you win. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword JUMP to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's JUMP to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
By the way, if you're watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, for Whitey Herzog, that is not who is in that show. Not the former baseball skipper. Who did Whitey Herzog work for? The Cards?
Oh, I don't know.
He's an old man now. So is Werner Herzog. But he's a filmmaker, Werner Herzog, right?
Right, yeah.
He's like a director. He's a documentarian. But he is a creepy old German guy.
He's very creepy.
And the casting pool of that group of people is getting smaller and smaller. You've got Christoph Waltz, but he's not old enough.
Quite old enough, yeah.
Right?
I think he could have pulled it off, though. But they wanted that real old creepness going. And
they did.
And so they went to Werner
Herzog.
Werner.
Yeah. No, I liked. I finally.
So you didn't like the first episode? You thought it was boring?
I didn't not like it. It felt like
it's a setup episode.
It felt like the very end of that episode was like the big money shot or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. But no, I'm still excited to watch the whole thing. I mean, I like the look of it. It looks very expensive.
Yeah.
I guess it just didn't. I don't know.
Didn't grab you?
Well, I'll tell you what. We started watching some of the if you have little kids, some of the best things on Disney Plus are the 6-minute Pixar shorts.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Oh, my God. I mean, if you're a parent, they will tear your heart out of your chest and throw it back at you. But I assume these were on the front of theatrical releases. Because a couple of them I feel like I've seen before. And my daughter's
the
attention.
Lava one.
The Lava, there's Bao, there's Piper.
Yeah.
Just 6 or 7-minute Pixar shorts that you can, because Disney Plus encompasses everything now. So it's Marvel, it's Star Wars, it's Pixar, it's the whole thing.
Everything.
Although no Spider-Man, I guess, is what they're saying for Disney
No
Plus.
Spider-Man.
Fox?
No, because it's Sony.
Oh,
so like those the Spider-Mans with Tom Holland in it, those won't be on there. They'll probably negotiate a deal at some point and get them. But
oh, good. You mean we'll get the Tobey Maguire ones?
No, they're not gonna get those ones.
Did you see what Netflix?
Those are on Netflix.
Did you see what Netflix is doing to compete with Disney Plus? Which
Nickelodeon
making shows for adults. Oh.
Yeah, no R-rated material on Disney Plus. Yeah, they're big.
Nickelodeon, man.
They're teaming up with Nickelodeon.
But that's good because
it's good for Tom Kenny.
I watch all those Nickelodeon shows.
Still.
Well, I enjoy them still. I can still get along with Hey Arnold and Cat Dog and Ren and Stimpy and what's that? The Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Like, some of those we already have saved, like for when they replay.
Okay. Yeah, I was too old when like that generation of cartoons hit. SpongeBob has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
20 years, I think.
Yeah. I remember my older kids watching when they were younger, but that was not on when I mean, Nickelodeon itself, you forget, has been on for almost 40 years.
First Kids Network.
It's just very, very
say it all the time.
Big. Is that what they said? I thought they were the second to the...
Nope, they were the first.
I didn't realize that.
They were the first.
Alan Christoph Waltz is Austrian, you racist bastard. I know that. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter to people who are casting a film.
Speaks German.
You might not have known this. They have cast a lot of people in films that are not necessarily representing their native ethnicity.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal is not actually a Mandalorian. So... there's that.
And that's another thing of it, too, is because I know that's who's playing him, I'm having a hard time reconciling because I don't think that's his voice.
No, I think it is.
Really?
Why would they have a different voice?
That's a good question, Bill, and one that I hope they answer. Because he's Chilean, and I think he's got a little bit of a lilt in his voice, and I don't hear that at all.
Well, maybe he's worked very hard to make it sound like he doesn't.
I just watched him in, what was that, Ben Affleck... Well, he was in Game of Thrones, but I didn't watch that. I saw him in this Ben Affleck jungle heist movie that was on Netflix. Frontier 6 or something like that. And he was in that, and I felt like...
I don't know what it's called.
Felt like he had a little bit of a lilt. But maybe not. Alan saw one of those shorts before Incredibles about a guy that made a dumpling that came to life.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking. That one's called Bao, and we watched it last night, and I was...
It's cute.
I was almost like, I had a hard time with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and Pixar, boy, they know whatever else you think of that company and their films. Man, they know how to just twist the knife. They really do. I mean,
really do.
In the subtlest ways, in ways that require no dialogue, things that if you don't have
visual storytelling.
yeah,
it's great.
If you don't have children, it might not mean as much to you. You might just be able to appreciate it kind of from an aesthetic standpoint. But if you have kids, some of those, like I've never seen Up.
Right.
Still never seen Up.
You should watch Up.
I want to, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Because I hear it's like all those movies, you get to a point where
that one starts with the heartbreak.
Yeah, and I don't want to.
That one starts on a sad note, and then it gets fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's the other one? That's like a kid's like tearjerker. I think it's like Inside Out.
Inside Out is.
I didn't see that either.
Inside Out.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Bing
one.
Bong. Bing Bong.
Why isn't Bill's new place called Squirefell? I don't know.
It's called Squifle Tower.
Poundcake came up with Squifle Tower, and we seem to like that.
I like Squifle Tower.
Yeah.
9th floor. It's tower. Makes sense.
Yeah, maybe so. It'd be a good idea.
Squirefell's more if I get like an estate, then that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Winterfell from Game of Thrones.
Wow.
You don't know.
Okay. Also, they're making a big deal out of the fact that in the entire Simpsons catalog, they are not including the Michael Jackson episode, which is called... God, what's the episode called? It's a pun. It's Dad... what is it?
I can't remember that.
Dad something.
I know the episode well, though. Lisa, it's your birthday.
Stark Raving Dad.
Yeah, he gets committed.
Yeah, the Simpsons episode featuring Michael Jackson will not be in the Simpsons catalog on Disney+. An episode that kicked off the 3rd season of The Simpsons, so it's old. Stark Raving Dad.
Didn't Prince do an appearance on The Simpsons too?
Probably everybody did over the course of 30 years, yeah.
I think Prince's was like real short, though.
He just made it like walked in and his animated self.
One line. And then
After the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland, the episode had been pulled from broadcast circulation as well. Once you watch grown men talking about when they were little, Michael Jackson wanted to see their beehole, not a lot of people wanted to hear his voice. On a Simpsons episode, no less. I thought it was funny but it was funny because when Donald Trump Jr. was doing this book tour of his or whatever, his defense that his father is not racist, which he clearly is, he goes, well, why would he let his... We talked about this before. Why would he let his son vacation with a black man? We're hanging out with Michael Jackson, which I don't think that Trump ever knew where his kids were. But I happened to hear an old rerun of Trump on Stern years ago, where he was like, I'd never let my kids hang out with Michael Jackson. So either he doesn't know what's going on, he didn't care, or he doesn't know. Does not know what his kids were doing.
Isn't at their little league games or anything like that?
No. Hey, you did a great job, buddy. Just because you struck out, don't you worry.
What's your name again?
You're going to get him next time.
Dad, it's the same as yours.
Calls him Junior and Big Guy. He doesn't even.
It's the same as yours.
Not all that
David?
excited.
Dave? What, Drumpf? Your name's Drumpf? That's my real name. So, yeah, if you're let's say that you're a Simpsons fan, sure. But boy, you're an uber fan of Stark Raving Dad. You're going to want to cancel that Disney Plus subscription right now. Although you've probably got it on the season 3 DVDs. I don't think they're still pressing the season 3 DVDs. But if you have collected them as they've come out, then you've got it. Just not going to be able to stream it. I like, too, that they have a racism disclaimer.
Yeah, this is pretty funny.
First of all, Disney Plus thought that they would get to 10 million subscriptions in their first year. They got them in the first day. 10 million people subscribed to Disney Plus on day one.
Wow.
So, and a lot of people are getting it free with Verizon or Hulu or whatever. I paid for this thing months ago when they first said you could pay for it, and so I've just been waiting for them to fire it up.
I did the legacy package where you paid for 3 years all at once.
There you go.
It averages out to like $4 a month.
That's what I did too.
Yeah.
But Disney Plus is putting a disclaimer for some of their older movies. Original Lady and the Tramp, Original Jungle Book, Dumbo, that says, along with... it's not going to say
like the Apple Dumpling Gang and all that stuff. Yeah.
It's not going to. None of these are going to say, sexual violence or anything like that, nudity. But they say may contain outdated cultural depictions. Like, hey, when you're watching the Aristocats, you're going to remember the scene in the Aristocats?
I don't remember.
The Siamese cats?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we are Siamese, if you please.
Yes.
Remember that?
I remember that.
And they had the slanty eyes and the whole thing.
Well, they're Siamese cats.
Siamese cats. Dumbo, there's a crow named Jim Crow in the original Dumbo. So they want to put all these in there, but they're just letting people know, listen.
People are going to ruin it. They can't chill.
No. They're saying, these are the original films. We're letting you know. Nobody can complain.
But
It's done.
they will.
Yeah, but then don't watch it.
The original Peter Pan, I remember reading
the Indians.
The Indians.
Yeah. The Native Americans.
Well,
they're not Native Americans because they're not America. They're up in Neverland.
Neverland.
Who knows what continent that's on?
Yeah. There's simply no way to know.
Right.
Okay, listen, I've got to take a break. I'm going to have passes for you later to see Journey and the Pretenders. They're going on tour in 2020. They have set a June date for Blossom, June 30th. So get you hooked up for that show shortly. 35192 if you want to text.
$20 to anyone who drops off a blood-stained, terrible towel after the game.
I said this was part of the Aristocats. This is in Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, okay.
The Siamese cat song. A lot of people getting me hip to.
I haven't seen either of those since I was a little kid.
I don't think I ever saw Lady and the Tramp, but I remember the maybe I did because I remember this song.
They made a live-action Lady and the Tramp. Did they include this in it?
Oh, you can bet they did not. They did not. No, and on the original Lady and the Tramp, we were talking before the break on Disney Plus. Some of these older films have a caveat on them that says it may include outdated racial stereotypes or something. So the Siamese cat song from the original Lady and the Tramp in there, but absolutely not in the new one.
They should do an updated version like John Legend did with Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh, please, for
we
the love
are
of God,
of Siamese descent, and we don't need your permission to be Siamese.
That's right.
Can someone please let me know, someone who has Disney Plus, let me know if they have Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella on there.
They probably do.
Brandy and Whitney Houston. That's
that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like they're going to have original versions of things, right?
But it was the original version. It was the first time.
But is that a Disney movie?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was the first time there was a black Cinderella, and it had Whoopi Goldberg in it, and they had an Asian prince. So.
I thought the first black Cinderella was Spinderella from Salt and Pepper.
No.
Oh, boy, I have been sorely misinformed.
She wasn't a princess.
She was to me, Poundcake. Thank you very much.
Where's she at now?
She was she with Salt and Pepper at the Cavs game?
Nope.
Well, then I guess she was too busy.
She was irrelevant.
Spinderella was responsible for all the good things that came out of Salt and Pepper. Did she get credit? No. Did she ask for credit? No.
Yeah, I bet you she did.
She was nope.
And they said,
it wasn't called Salt and Pepper and Spinderella.
That's my whole point.
Yeah, because she didn't care. She goes, I'm in it for the love of the game. I'm in it to make the two of you. See, this is what somebody who's committed to a group will do, Poundcake. You should take note from Spinderella.
Tell me more.
Rather than chastising her, rather than castigating her, you should look at someone like that and say, that was someone who was committed to the project. They didn't need their name in it. They wanted to make Salt and Pepper sound the best they could possibly sound, right?
You sure that was called Cinderella?
Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella.
All right, well, it doesn't seem to be on here.
No! It has Whitney Houston in it.
That's probably why it's not on there. Because who wants to see Whitney Houston as what I can only assume is the fairy godmother?
Whitney Houston and Brandy. Yeah, Whitney Houston is the fairy godmother. Brandy's Cinderella. Whoopi Goldberg.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Whoopi Goldberg is the queen. Fitting, but yeah.
Well, that's not on there.
We don't know yet.
No, it's not on there.
Still.
Well, there you go. Bill has confirmed it is not on there.
It ain't easy being a kid. Now look at what you gone done did. Whoa, it's time for Kids Corner. Kids Corner!
A lot of people are hitting me up with breaking news, but this happened this morning, about 11 o'clock our time. There was a school shooting out in California. One person dead so far. 2 people are in critical condition. Some other people were shot. They were all students. They said early this morning. This was out in Santa Clarita, California, in the unfortunately named William Shart School District.
It's not funny.
Not to put too fine a point on it.
William Shart's funny.
They had
that sounds like an alter ego of mine, William Shart.
If somebody else had taken Hugo Butt, you would have been William Shart.
Yes.
The
If I'm
William
feeling a little fancy, but also not quite sure of how fancy I'll be.
Yeah.
It's William Shart.
Yeah. You want to pay homage to your lowbrow sensitivities.
Yes.
You want to go by William, also Shart.
Mm-hmm.
So one student is dead. Before they had apprehended the student, they said that they were on the lookout for an Asian kid in a black hoodie, black pants. I don't know if that is actually the case. Because, boy, I'll tell you what.
They found him.
Is he Asian? Because if they start an Asian ban, we're going to have all kinds of problems after this. You know, Asians are pretty low, other than the Virginia Tech shooting. Asians are pretty low on the school shooter ethnicity list. But again, this is a story that you'd probably be hard-pressed to have found unless you were going through a social media news feed that there was another school shooting. And I feel like there hasn't been one for a while.
Oh, see, the thing is, there have been, They're just not
We don't hear
breaking
about 'em.
news as much as they used to be.
No, but I always felt like workplace shootings maybe so, but I feel
Yeah.
like school shootings always hit the news.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if there has been one, I feel like we would have heard about it. Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, California, which I think is a fairly affluent community.
Yeah, I knew a kid that when I was on my mission, he went to that high school. Like, this is 20 plus years ago now. Well,
That's how you
not
know you
quite.
go to a rich kid school, when the shooter is Asian, if that's the case. So 5 or 6 kids got shot.
I know they
think.
apprehended him. I don't know if they've confirmed that he was Asian or
Okay.
anything.
Well, there you go.
Because he's 15, they said.
15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
1 female student died. 2 males are in critical condition, and 1 male was in good condition. So they got the kid for murder. You know, if you wound a bunch of people, it's a different thing legally. But they canvassed the neighborhood nearby the school and found the kid. So there you go. That happened at about 7:45 Pacific time.
I mean, this is going to sound really bad, but I'm like...
Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
It's been a while since we've had one.
This isn't going to be along the lines of, we should forgive old Nazis, is it?
I never said that. Those words never, ever came out of my mouth. Roll back the tape.
They did come out of your
They
mouth.
did not.
I had to tell people that you were...
I never said forgive. I never said forgive Nazis.
You said there's worse things than prison.
Honor.
Which I agree.
Did you say honor?
Okay.
I still stand by that. There's worse things than
I know,
prison.
you said it. Why wouldn't you stand by it?
But that's not me saying forgive them. I said execute them and torture them. Do the
Torture
same.
them?
Do the same that they did to those people that they murdered.
Oh.
I don't think that's exactly what you were saying the other day.
I feel like you've had a couple of days to reconsider your thoughts, and now you're filling in some gaps.
If that's what you were trying to say the other day, you did not.
You did not get that across.
Yeah, that was not how it was conveyed at all.
Yeah, well,
you felt you sounded very Nazi sympathizer-ish.
You guys are gonna stop trying to make me look like I'm a terrible
We're
person.
just paraphrasing what you say with your own mouth.
I never said forgive.
You say what that mouth do? Defends Nazis.
No, because I said no. Oh, it was a lot. I'm not going back down this road. Y'all listen to the podcast. Go to AlanCoxShow.com and listen to it. Because I'm telling you that I never said that. I never said forgive. This ain't student loan forgiveness. What you talk about?
What?
This ain't Nazi forgiveness.
Does this turn you on, Poundcake? Is it making it move? Are you sure?
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
You're not going to dignify that with a response. There's no dignity around here. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Come on.
Mr. Dignity over there.
I have plenty of dignity.
He expresses his dignity every single day here on the show. Actually, all
It's
of us.
dignity that I don't have.
Yeah. He's completely lacking in dignity. After the great diggity shortage of 1993, when was that song out? When was Blackstreet? That had to be like 25 years ago, right?
Yeah, I want to say
90s for
around
sure.
93 might have been right on point.
No diggity. 96.
96.
There you go. So 23 years later, after the great diggity shortage of 1996, we're left only with dignity. Alan, please tell Poundcake that you can watch that awful movie with Whitney Houston on YouTube. There you go.
I'll look it up during the break.
And the original's from 1965. So they remade it with Brandy. Anytime they have something like that, it's never the first version of it. You know, they
No,
do
I
like,
knew it wasn't the first
Wiz, yeah.
version.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about they never had a black cast for Cinderella before that. I knew it wasn't. I mean, obviously it wasn't the real Cinderella. Cinderella in the book or the movie was never black.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody watch that new Little Mermaid live that they did the other night?
Like the live broadcast? No, I
didn't even.
see it.
I thought it was still coming.
Oh, I thought it was this past Tuesday.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think
Yeah.
it did pass, but like they didn't advertise it very well because I didn't see it.
It's because it was the same day that Disney Plus came out, so I was like, I don't care about this. I'm watching Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have it at your demand. That's the whole point of it. I wonder would they have those on Disney Plus, like the live stuff that they do? Because now I'm seeing performances that that celebrities like perform at Disney World for like Christmas, and they sing like "Oh Holy Night" and stuff like that. Those performances is almost like YouTube. You can look those performances up of stars performing at Disney World.
Well, people are telling me that this shooter in California shot himself in the head. I don't know if that's the case. What I read was that police apprehended him, which usually doesn't mean they grabbed a corpse. So I'm not sure what. Obviously, there's more information coming out on that. You could be right. I just didn't see that.
So brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, and when you try and look things up, there's so many conflicting stories until everything gets settled out.
Yeah, because everybody's getting like their breaking news out or whatever. Alan, today's also the anniversary of the plane crash that killed the entire football team of Marshall University. That's Norm in Detroit telling me that. I'm not familiar with that.
They made a movie about it, didn't they?
Oh, We Are Marshall was
Yeah.
about kids that died in a plane crash?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never
Yeah.
seen it. Was that Denzel?
No, that was Matthew Fox.
I'm thinking Remember the Titans.
Yeah, that was Denzel. Matthew Fox, and I can't remember who else was in it. I never saw it, though.
I didn't either. We Are Marshall. Matthew Fox and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, McConaughey. There you go.
Man, you went to Fox and forgot about McConaughey.
Because it was like one of the only things that Matthew Fox did after, or like during Lost.
Okay.
So it was one of his like he was trying to get out there. But yeah, I never saw the movie, so I don't remember. And also McConaughey's been in so many things that you forget what he's been in.
That's right.
Also.
Kate Hudson being one of them.
I couldn't imagine anything more terrible than like you're like with your classmates and then they're like, guys, our plane's going down. Like, what do you do? I mean,
you look around and figure out who you're going to eat. That's what the Chilean soccer team did, didn't they? And Alive, Ethan Hawke had to look around and figure out who he was going to eat.
In the 2 minutes it takes to dive down and crash.
Well, I don't know. You hope that you're going to live.
Anybody want to go to the Mile High Club real quick before we crash?
Just do what my cousin Walter did. Try and pop yourself off.
In 2 minutes?
What? Your cousin Walter?
That's a reference to Mallrats.
Oh. The kid is back on the escalator again. My wife would have caught that. I did not catch that. Somewhere very painful.
Like the back
seat of a Volkswagen?
Yeah.
So, Poundcake, your thought is a football team of guys is going down, and you think, hey, who wants to really go down before this thing crashes?
No, I'll go down for sure, but like
as the plane is like shimmying and shaking.
Listen,
and
we have
we have
120 seconds to live. How would you like to go? Okay, do you want to pop off or explode? One of the two.
Okay. Well, listen, if you have any air travel in the near future and you see Poundcake on your flight, just be aware that
San Diego.
If you're going to be on a flight to San Diego over Christmas.
I don't trust this pilot one bit.
I don't either. That's why our plane's going down. I don't trust him. Abort. He wouldn't even let me on the plane.
No, I wouldn't. Nope. My intercom wasn't working.
This plane is janky. What is this?
Yeah. Well, it's a prop plane. It's just big enough to transport a football team.
Oh, it's not private? Ew, gross.
No.
It's not private.
What,
gross.
university teams that are flying private planes?
They fly private. They have their own plane.
No.
There it goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're flying with us today, just be aware if there's any turbulence here, that your masks may drop down in the event of a decrease in cabin pressure. Also, in the event of a decrease in cabin pressure, the young man in seat 27A is offering an increase in crotch pressure.
Yes. And? Wait! Where are we going?
Hey, you probably don't have a 600-mile-an-hour uncontrolled vertical dive and you're trying to unzip dudes' jeans.
They can float over to me. Zero gravity.
You realize that you're not in zero gravity when a plane crashes, right?
Well, it hasn't crashed yet. It's nose diving, and for that,
right? But you're not in zero gravity.
You're not like floating.
You're under extraordinary gravity when a plane is going down like that.
Are you stuck to the back of the plane?
Probably, if it hasn't broken off, yeah.
Is it a big pile of people?
I mean, depends.
It's a big pile of guys in the back of a plane?
Right. I imagine no one would take you up on your offer to do that, provided that by that time you probably would have filled your pants with everything that was previously in your bowels, and no one would want to mess with that.
What if I came prepared and I didn't have anything in my bowels?
Came prepared.
Yeah.
Guys, I didn't eat for a day and a half just so if this happens, just for this eventuality.
I didn't eat.
It's my contingency plan as I've been intermittently fasting.
You say I don't commit to the group.
You know, well, that's the group you commit to. Some strangers on a plane that might crash.
Not eating
Cool.
for a day and a half.
Yeah, not here. Eating for a day, yeah. Well, congratulations.
Please make your way. In the last 5 seconds of your life, we're bringing a drink cart around, and so long, everybody.
Smoky in here.
Yeah, it is smoky in here. God, could you imagine if there was a plane crash? Poundcake was the sole survivor. Think about that.
He's like, I was trying to resuscitate him.
Yeah.
Doing mouth to something.
No one would trust me. They were like, what did you do? What did you do to these people?
Do what? It's a plane crash. You're Jeff Bridges in Fearless. They're walking out.
Unbreakable.
You're untouched.
They would think it's some type of conspiracy theory that I survived. They'd be checking people's wallets. Like, did I rob them? Like, what did I do beforehand? Like, they wouldn't trust me. They would think it's some type of conspiracy theory that I survived and no one else did.
What if it's one of those miracles where God saved you, God protected you?
That's what I would say. And they would be like, no. Why would he save you? The Cretan, not all out of everybody.
Alan, most people would be trying to call loved ones to say goodbye. It's like if Poundcake was on one of the 9/11 planes, he would have been going up and down the aisles, asking people if anybody wanted
a little
mouth
something.
service. Yeah.
It's the last one you're going to get. I mean, I thought...
Looks like we're going to crash into... Hold on. We're going to crash into this building. Anybody want some action? Yeah. Something, I don't know. It's a well-dressed Poundcake, too. Tiny Poundcake's very well-dressed.
First-class lettuce.
What?
First-class lettuce.
Yeah, first-class lettuce. You can have it in Coach. All right, Journey and the Pretenders are on tour next year. They've already set June 30th. What's the date? Journey and the Pretenders. June 30th. Tuesday, June 30th at Blossom. Want to go see that show? I will hook you up after these. 35192 if you want to text.
It's Steelers week.
Here we go, brownies.
10 signal behind.
Here we go.
Let's go.
100.7 WMMS.
Be caller 16, and these are yours. Okay, good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Studies show that listening to classical music can temporarily raise your IQ.
I feel pretty smart.
If you're looking for the opposite effect, just stay tuned.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
35192, want to send me a text. And another chance for you to go fund yourself in about 8 minutes. Closer to 3:30, about 30 past every hour. We give you a keyword. Every one of them's got $1,000 attached to it. The Cox Out pregame is tonight downtown. Starts at 6 o'clock. I'll be there because they pushed the Cavs game up, so we'll be out of here around 5:30. Make room for your pregame. 6 o'clock, we start up at the Ivy downtown. I do it before all of the Browns home games. Tonight is no different. Steelers are in town, so we get down to the Ivy, West 6 and Lakeside, and we party. We have a beautiful, you hear me talking about it all the time, we have a beautiful Indian motorcycle from Johnny K's Power Sports in the window that one of you will get at the end of the season. So we're registering people all season long for that at the Cox Out pregames. And it's a lot of fun, so I'll see you down there tonight. Cavs, 6 o'clock. They pushed the game up an hour. So 6 o'clock game. The Heat are in town at the Romo Fihjo. So your pregame will get going around 5:30. 6 o'clock here on MMS. It's going to be Cavs Heat. Speaking of which, thanks to these, I don't know who these dudes are, but they tagged me in one of their Instagram videos. Trend Kill Radio. Do you know these guys?
Yeah, I know those guys.
Okay.
It's Chris and Coley and some other guys.
They tagged me in a clip of their show. Trend Kill Radio 216 is where they are on Instagram.
Email from the Rocket Mortgage, Romo Fihjo.
Fihjo. No photo with Romo Fihjo.
Romo Fihjo. You're welcome, Alan Cox. It's free publicity on your part.
I love you, Bill Squire. Mayor Santora's all right, too.
That guy loves you. Who's the guy?
That's Chris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris is he's a booster.
All right, well, there you go.
Guy.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So, thanks, dudes. Romo Fihjo is,
it's out there.
What can I tell you?
It's Romo Fihjo. Let's go see a show.
All right. Whoa.
Yeah, my body's doing all sorts of things.
Are you okay?
Yeah. My realtor asked, she's like, you know about Romo Fihjo? I'm like, yeah, Alan started Romo Fihjo. And she's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, she knew.
She had heard of it
well,
from
give me the
someone
back.
else.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's like, because she saw me
it's
like,
really making the
tagging and
rounds.
stuff.
Yeah.
So like people are figuring it out, but it's not always us that people are hearing it from. They're hearing it from their friends or someone.
I don't care if I get credit. See, I'm the Spinderella in this equation here, Poundcake, right?
You're not irrelevant, Alan.
It depends on who you talk to. It doesn't matter if you get credit for something as long as it spreads like a virus, right? By the time something goes viral or whatever, it'll come back around to somebody. I'll know it's big enough when somebody comes to me and goes, do you know Romo Fihjo? They come to me directly, and I'll just look at them and I'll say, no, what is that? Tell me, because it sounds hilarious.
Okay.
Of course, as with anything amazing, Bill, you're going to have your detractors.
That's right.
You're going to have your naysayers. You're going to have your negative Nancys. You're going to have the people who go, why would anybody chant for a building? That is precisely the point. That's right. No one would. Except
Until
me
now.
and Bill and maybe Poundcake if he feels like it's in his interest. And the Trend Kill 216 guys.
I did scream Romo Fihjo at the Celine Dion concert.
You did? Mm-hmm. Did anybody pick up on it?
Oh, hell no. They weren't concerned about me or what I was
Well, no,
chanting.
but like no one within earshot was like, oh, I know that.
No.
Oh.
Nope.
How did you do it?
I feel like if there was a concert we could have got it going, it's the Tool concert, because I was walking around just before I went and got my seats.
It's more of our crowd, too.
It was every 2 steps, someone's like, hey, Bill, hey, Bill, hey, Bill. And everyone's cool.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, hey. Like, they're just, like, saying hi like they know me, which is great. And I was with a buddy and a couple of girls, and they're just like, man, a lot of people know you. I'm like, yes, they do. As long as it's a concert where everybody wears black,
Yeah.
I do pretty well.
Sure. But that looks good for the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, well. Yeah, so there's that school shooting in California.
In other news.
People are giving me info on it because as it comes down.
Now the shooter was 16 years old.
He's not dead. He's alive, and I guess they have his mom and his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend.
That's a new one.
It is. Forget if he's Asian. Forget the ethnicity of the school shooter. A school shooter with a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that is somebody who's really mad at somebody. If he's got a girlfriend. And listen, not to be crass, but I will be. Not to be insensitive, but I shall. Not to be indelicate. Watch me. If you're the girlfriend, at some point you go, boy, what did I miss?
Exactly.
What did I not do? What did I not do?
And now that girl's going to be scarred for life because even though she may have had nothing to do with it, everyone's going to look at her with a side eye and somehow blame her. Like they're going to blame her for this, and it's sad.
No, I don't know that it rises to the level of blaming anyone but him.
No, I feel like the people at the
you
school.
don't blame. I don't even know she goes to the school.
Oh, that's
no, you know what? I think kids have been through this kind of stuff, even if it's never happened at your school. Just
You don't know
generationally,
about
man.
it, yeah.
I don't know that anybody's looking to blame. Adults are looking to blame everything but the problem. The adults are the ones. There's no kid going, it's these video games. It's the adults, the alleged authorities on the subject. They're always blaming everything except what it actually is. They're the ones going, what were they listening to?
And
it's these damn video games. No kid is saying that.
I think it's their chapstick.
And what is the actual cause of it?
Chapstick.
There's simply no way to know, Bill.
Okay.
I mean, I wish that there were.
I thought
but
it was
there
sinning.
I'm sorry?
Sinning? Is it sin?
Sinning,
I think
yes.
it's sins.
Well, I imagine that they might ask this girl if they did any sinning together.
Off the junk food, maybe.
That would probably be a good thing to check out. You know, did you two ever do anything unseemly or of a sexual nature that would have brought down the wrath?
Sexual threesome?
A sexual threesome, as it were?
Guns, guns, guns!
Simply no way to know what the actual cause is, but boy, everybody's got an opinion on it.
Sad.
Alan, I hardly doubt that at the moment of an airplane going down that I would be able to get excited enough to pop one off. However, science does show that in moments of heightened fear, males tend to get erections.
Get a chub?
Yeah, fear boner.
Right. So, who are at the Agora this weekend, by the way. And if you haven't seen that, Fear Boner's got a new frontman. If you haven't seen them, amazing. Amazing. So, science might be on Poundcake's side here.
I'm just saying.
For once.
Here to help.
Thank you.
In your time of need.
Yeah. But again, you would be, you'd be among the people. You wouldn't be, you'd be in the plane. You'd be going down with everybody else. You'd be worried about your last few seconds on
We're
Earth.
all in this together.
Yeah.
Once you pop one off and our plane and it crashes. I'm trying to help us cope.
You know what? I didn't realize you had a theme song to go along with it, so forget everything I said. You're already steps ahead of me. He's really put a lot of thought into this. All right, good. I like to hear that. Theme song.
That was
It's in the air.
Everybody, it's gonna be okay. Just pull your pants down. I'll be around. Hold on.
The last thing you hear is Poundcake singing to you.
Pushing the little trolley.
Yeah.
Put your seat in its full upright position.
Yeah, that's right.
Bitch, we going down.
I got $1,000 for you, a chance to go fund yourself. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword PAN to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info, standard data, and message rate supply in this nationwide contest. That's PAN to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
Hello.
Oh, hey. Who's this? Timing.
Hello, Bill.
Hey. What's going on, Mozgov?
How do you know this was me, Bill?
I finally can just tell by the way your voice sounds.
Oh, my goodness, Bill.
And there's a music that starts playing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of music?
That's like Russian music.
I don't know what that is.
Mm.
I like Van Halen.
Oh, yeah?
But they're not Russian.
Mm.
They're Danish or something.
How you doing, man?
Bill, there was also, I heard you talking about school shooting.
Yeah, yeah.
There was also the mistake you made. There was a shooter in Russia.
Oh no, really?
He killed himself. Yes.
What happened?
There was a college in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
2 people killed and 30 people injured, just like in America today.
Oh wow, that's sad.
School shooting in Russia. Oh, it was the University of Blagoveshchenchish, I believe. Their team is the Fighting Potatoes.
Oh, I've heard of the Fighting Potatoes.
They do, yes, they're very,
Starchy.
very competitive team. Very starchy, Bill. I see what you did.
Yeah. So that's sad. It's a coincidence that it happened on the same day.
But was it?
I mean, seems like it. Yeah. Were they related somehow?
I don't know. I was worried about it. You know, I'm from St. Petersburg.
Right.
Florida. Yes,
Yeah.
that's my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
You people can tell by my Florida accent all the time. They stop me
You do
all-
sound like a Florida man.
Yes. But I'm worried that the shootings will continue.
Well, what do you think the cause of the shootings is over in Russia?
Well, I know Moscow's shootings happening nightly on my basketball team, Bill. You know I play for Russia now.
Yeah. But I think you're
I'm
actually
no
not
longer-
playing this year.
I'm no longer with Orlando Magic.
Nope.
No.
I believe you're injured at the moment and not able to actually play.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm injured?
I think so.
What happened to me? I feel fine.
Your knees messed up?
Oh, well, my knee has been messed up for a long time, Bill.
Hmm.
But that doesn't stop me from playing.
Okay.
I'm playing.
All right. Well, keep on keeping on.
How are you feeling?
I'm a little under the weather.
You sound under. Is your
Yeah, I'm a little sick.
Is it your niece too?
No, it's not my knees. It's a cold.
No, I said, is it your niece?
Oh no, not my niece.
Is your niece making you
Oh,
sick?
she might have made me sick. You know, they got all those germs. Little kids.
How old is your niece?
4 years old.
Oh, okay. I'll stop talking then. I thought she was older. It's going to make joke.
How old would she have to be for you to make the joke?
18.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any 18-year-old nieces yet.
No, I said knees. Do you have 18-year-old knees?
Yes, I have 18-year-old knees.
All right. This is hard. Maybe lost in translation. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Perhaps.
Hard to tell. But the Moscow, there might be school shooting. But the Moscow shooting is doing great.
Oh, that's good. Not always your strongest suit.
I've gotten so much better.
Yeah?
Yes, I practice.
And practice makes what?
Makes Moscow rich. Oh, perfect, I believe.
Yes,
What you were
yes.
looking for, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right. Mrs. Moscow happy with my shooting percentage.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Which is what?
Usually on the floor. She's like, I got to go.
Oh for 2.
Got away from it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not giving you a lot to work with there.
No.
Yeah.
It's not you.
Did you guys?
It's Mozgov, Bill.
Yeah, Mozgov.
Mozgov was clearly distracted. Yeah, a college school shooting in Russia. Who even knew they had colleges in Russia? A 19-year-old shooter brought a hunting rifle to class.
Look at that.
Are they going to put him to death? Because I feel like Russia has like a zero tolerance for stuff like that.
Well, I don't know how many. I don't know much about all that, but
I don't know international law, but like
international law.
This ain't no Pitbull.
That was the Pitbull song, right? International law.
International love, but yes.
Oh, I like law better. Would have made him sound smarter if he had a song called International Law. People been like, oh man, this guy sucks at singing. I hope maybe he can be a lawyer someday.
Did you guys see that Instagram finally put in to where you can't see the likes?
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
I saw that they were.
Like it.
I saw they were rolling that out, but I thought that it was. I
can still see likes.
Yeah,
No,
like other
you
people
can.
can't see your likes,
No,
right?
I can see their like.
You need.
I can see the person's like right in front of me.
It just says for me like you like this and others. Like it doesn't tell me you can't see the number.
I can see this one from.
I'm
my
seeing
friend.
8, 9 likes from friends' accounts.
But yeah, mine.
Rob Ward 76 likes.
Okay, well it hasn't kicked in yet for you, but like when I.
But they are rolling that out, is what you're saying.
Also, pretty weak, Rob Ward. Pretty weak.
Wow.
You know, I can't see.
I gave him a 77th.
I'm just a plebe. 10.4K followers. But
No, but I did see that they're rolling that out. They rolled it out in the UK, and I heard it was going live in the States yesterday, but I can still see people's likes.
I can't. Well, then maybe iPhones are the last to get it because I can't see.
The last to get it? What did I overpay for this phone then for?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I can see that my friends like it, but I can't see after, like, if I don't follow the people, I don't know if they've liked a post or not. It just says a bunch of others.
And so this has so-called influencers. Well, it has so-called influencers and actual influencers kind of freaked out. But the people who don't seem freaked out are the people who have a lot of people. Like if you're on the border
like
there.
The Rock doesn't care.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you have 11 million followers, you don't care if you can't see the likes. Because you're already going to, whatever shotgun blast you put out there is going to hit enough people. But if you're one of these like wannabe influencers who have 5,000 followers, those people probably live and die by that stuff.
Yeah, that's why they're creating OnlyFans, because they need to pay their rent. Before, I mean, selling those little teeth whitener kits ain't doing it. Now they just spread some cheeks. That's all.
Yeah. Man, I spent all that money on teeth whitener kits, and now they all want to see is the back of my body.
No,
they're not even looking at my teeth.
Did you guys look at my view from my apartment?
Oh, no, I didn't.
At Bill Squire?
No, I didn't see.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Got the apartment there. I do a little
Wow.
walkthrough. Did my final walkthrough today.
Got the lake view.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Squifle Tower.
Squifle Tower. Full effect.
All right. Who are the ladies?
That's Carly, the realtor, and Grandma.
What?
Yeah.
You know better, girl?
Yeah.
She sold you your condo?
Yeah. Well, she was my realtor. She wasn't the seller. She was the buyer.
Right.
Yeah.
She was the agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. We're pals.
Uh-huh.
Clearly he
Got a
does
new
know
boyfriend.
better.
It's good.
Understood.
We're buddies, and then Grandma was there.
Has the new boyfriend heard the clip?
I don't know.
Oh, that's not it.
That's not it.
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
You know better!
Now that is when Bill first called and said he was going to put a lower offer in on the condo.
Hey, they
got
accepted
very
my first
upset.
offer.
Good.
Yeah. And I didn't pay asking.
They were what do they call that? They were aggressive sellers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're ready to sell.
That's right.
And he's ready to buy.
I was.
And he's the keys for Squifle Tower tomorrow. You get them in the morning. Or you got to wait till the afternoon.
I'm signing in the morning, and then I get them in the afternoon.
All right.
They're like, I'll get them when I get home from work.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. So
it's a
I'm
big
excited.
move. It's a very adult move.
It is very adult. It's not like me.
I would have been because there's so much paperwork too.
Oh man, so much.
It's
like,
even if you
a
are
lot.
yes, it's like a financial rectal exam.
And especially with everything like the ex-wife and the house that she owns and all that stuff, like it was extra paperwork.
Your name's on that
That's
too?
why it took so long. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's all straightened out and all taken care of now.
Wow.
I don't like
Got
this.
it.
I don't like this no likes thing. This is stressing me out.
Did you see my spot?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Just going back to just revel in my happiness.
Yeah.
Worrying about the no likes.
Bill's
thing.
over here talking about a major purchase.
Major purchase.
And you're over there checking your likes.
It doesn't make me want to like things if I don't know that other people like them too.
What? You check your likes in the break.
No.
I'm 10 seconds away.
Not my likes. Other people's likes. I don't.
What do you care about other people's likes?
I don't want to like their photo if other people don't like it. I don't want to be
my
the first.
God.
Who wants to be the first to like something? That's weird.
Do you like something?
Yes.
Then like it.
Yeah. Why do you?
Why
care
do you
so
care?
Much? You're playing into the whole thing.
You mean if 50 other people like something, what's the minimum number for you to join in? So what you're trying to say to me is...
I don't want to be the...
What you're trying to say to me is... Or what you are saying...
I don't want to be the first through 10.
You're a follower, not a leader.
Correct. I'm not going to be the first one to show up to a
disappointing.
party. I'm not going to be the first one to show up to a party.
That's not what I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Fashionably late is just a social construct that I think is recommended. Nevertheless,
same with
somebody's got to show up first, and nobody looks at them and goes, "Oh, they showed up. They suck."
I sit in the car and watch other people walk in first, and then I'm like, "All right, now I can walk in."
See, that seems sadder to me than
Yes.
just being confident enough to go into a party.
Nah.
You know how many parties I've showed up first?
Yeah,
because
all the parties go to our lane.
Because I know I'm gonna leave first.
Okay.
When we have our holiday party, somebody shows up first. One year, it was the Kurt man and his wife showed up first. I don't care.
You're not saying this for me.
Somebody's got to show up first, right?
Okay.
You think other people were sitting in their cars in the street going, "Oh, let's see who goes in there first."
Absolutely.
No.
They absolutely
You're
were.
psychotic.
You're a child.
You are.
I am both of those things, but
Yeah.
that doesn't make me any less right.
No, it makes you
listen. If it works for
you,
you,
it's not a right or
cool.
wrong thing. It's a semantic thing, and your whole reasoning behind it is ridiculous.
Well, clearly they took the likes away for a reason because people.
Right. So
like
what you like instead of doing. Right, but like
I like likes. How about that?
Yeah, and you'll still see your likes.
I don't want to see my likes. I want to see other people's likes.
So that's the petty weirdness that I don't
am
understand.
The chief petty officer.
I know, and you're doing a good job. Good job being petty.
Now listen, whatever works for you. It's you're never going to have to worry about being first to one of my parties, Poundcake.
I know, because I'm not invited at all.
That is correct.
So that means I'm late.
All right. Hey, we got to double up today on Poundcake's go-karting team, by the way. 420. I will get 2 spots filled. We were out yesterday on Squeals on Wheels. 1 week from Saturday, we're doing the inaugural Alan Cox Show High Voltage Karting Challenge out in Medina on the 23rd. We're each going to have a team. We'd love you to join us. If you want to get all the details on it, because it's going to be a lot of fun, go to AlanCoxShow.com. Use the keyword karting.
Cleveland rocks. It rocks. And
Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh.
couple of weeks ago, I was talking about how Dave Mustaine of Megadeth was putting a whole lot of gear up for sale. There's a music gear app called Reverb that I've used on a handful of occasions to buy and sell some gear, and Dave Mustaine said that he was putting a lot of his gear on that app for sale. I don't know if he needs money. He's been very ill in the past few years. I don't know if he just wanted to thin out some stuff. He's accumulated a lot over the years, but he was selling it with the understanding, telling people these are not just guitars that have been in my house. This is the guitar that I wrote Holy Wars with, or this is the guitar that was on tour with us in 08 or whatever. One guy bought all of his guitars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and posted a video on YouTube called "I Bought All of Dave Mustaine's Megadeth Guitars." His Reverb shop had 150 pieces of gear, including a handful of guitars. This went on sale a couple of weeks back. And somebody happened to notice and told Dave, hey, all of your guitars sold on the same day. And it turns out that one guy bought all of them, a guy who runs a recording studio.
That's probably a huge fan.
Huge
or
fan?
Is he going to try and resell them himself?
Well,
sounds like he's a collector.
Yeah, his video, he said, he's in London. He runs a recording studio in the Essex area. And he said, I just bought them for anybody to enjoy here at the studio.
That's pretty cool.
You're more than welcome to swing by and rock out on them.
That's real cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And I don't know why, but he said a lot of Russians are unhappy. They've made a hate video.
Because they probably
about
wanted
his... Yeah.
They wanted some in the motherland of Russia. They wanted some Megadeth in
figured
St.
they were
Petersburg,
maybe they were more Scorpions fans. He said they, according to their comments, they have all slept with my mother, and they wish me a prosperous life in hell. So there you go. He's got his studio has over 300 guitars, and he just wants gear in there for up-and-coming bands who come in. But he bought all of the Dave Mustaine guitars.
Buddy, it is your friend Keith here again in the control room at...
Oh, he's an American guy. Running a studio in London. Yeah. Not that matters. It's interesting. That's all to me. So they don't disclose how much he paid for all of them. That's what I'm curious about. How much Dave Mustaine sold his guitars for?
Probably over like $100.
I mean, I thought for sure that. Yeah, over $100 is what this guy says. Now that I dig into the video, because you guys are never going to believe what I got all these for. $192.
Dang, I would have bought them all for that much.
34 cents.
Shoes cost more than that.
The new shoes?
Yeah.
You got new shoes, yeah?
Yeah.
How much you pay for those shoes?
$200.
$200.
Yes.
Now, what's the hook on these shoes?
They're Gore-Tex. They're Gore-Tex. It's Gore-Tex, Jerry.
It's Gore-Tex, Jerry.
It's Gore-Tex.
Gore-Tex.
Yeah, they're my winter boots.
Okay.
Air Force Ones.
All right.
Yeah.
Those are Nikes?
Yeah.
So your winter boots are sneakers. Gore-Tex sneakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That are also boots.
Gotcha.
They
Waterproof.
look, yeah. They're nice. I like them.
Okay.
They make me happy. I bought a white pair. I didn't like the white pair, so I sold those, made a little profit, because I don't really wear white sneakers that often.
Okay.
And then I made a little profit on those and bought these ones. So.
And you're certainly not going to wear white sneakers in the wintertime.
No, exactly.
Okay.
So
these are you didn't buy these for resale then?
No, these ones are for me.
Gore-Tex.
I'm already wearing them. Yeah. Gore-Tex.
Oh, I can't see. Yeah.
I can post a picture of them.
Yeah. Okay.
I took a few pics. I'll throw it on my Instagram story. You can look at it there rather than just sending it across the room.
I bought a pair of Adidas Campus ADVs because I've been wearing the same pair.
Oh yeah.
For probably 22 years, and they finally wore out. Because I'll just wear sneakers until they wear out, or until I get a hole in the back of one of them.
I need a good picture of them. Hold on.
Gore-Tex. So 200 even, or was it 200 and some change?
200 and some change with tax, but with the profit that I made off the other pair, it's like I paid $150.
Yeah, you're a mover and shaker.
Yeah, you gotta be in this
one of
day
these,
and age, Alan.
on one of these resale apps, yeah?
Yeah.
My son he's done that before. I thought he's full of crap. He goes, oh, no.
No, you can make a.
He goes, you can make a lot of money on
you
this.
can do pretty good on this.
Yeah,
And people get mad at me.
he's made a couple of good. Why?
'Cause they're like,
That's a hustle.
I
That's
know,
why
it's-
you
exactly.
didn't invent the app.
Right.
You didn't invent the resale aspect of it.
It looks like an action
Why are
shot
they
here.
hating the player and not the game, Bill?
Because people, I don't know, it's that day and age. Because they want the shoes too. I don't know how to rotate this. This is amazing radio, but it's taking up time. And
Hey, listen, I want to see your shoe. I can't
yeah.
look over there and see your shoes. I'm interested in the shoes.
How do I rotate it?
I was reading about a guy who used to be you know how television stations will have medical correspondents? So anytime they have a story about health or whatever, they'll have their medical correspondent. They'll go, here's Dr. Jim to tell you about the antibiotics that
aren't going to work.
Aren't going to work. That's right.
I'll tag you so it'll show up right away.
Thank you. This guy was the medical correspondent for NBC4 in Los Angeles for a long time. He also did local radio in LA. His name is Dr. Bruce Hensel. And I don't know how old this headshot is. But he had a long stint. This guy has worked major market television for a long time. He's one of these doctors who's telegenic and gets a gig. So he was on the NBC affiliate in New York. He was on a couple of different stations in Los Angeles. He would do a little bit of news radio here and there. He had one of those syndicated doctor shows for a while. They picked him up yesterday because he wanted to have sex with a kid.
Ah. That's how it always goes. It's just one of those things. It's all that build up, and then where's the rub? Did he do something good? Is he getting accolades? Nope. Just trying to bang a kid.
Yeah. They got him before they could figure out what the rub was going to be. But yeah, he was contacting a minor with the intent to commit sexual acts. Ew. They arrested him in Santa Monica, and then they released him, and then they raided his home in Pacific Palisades, which, yeah, currently on fire, but a very
bougie area.
Yes, my late agent lived in Pacific Palisades, and I had a couple of friends that lived near there too. So very, very affluent.
There's just
so I don't know what kind of defense this guy can mount, but as long as he's not mounting the kid that he wanted to.
There's so many people in this world. Why do you want to bang kids? There's so many
I don't
of-age
know.
people. So many.
I think it's because when you get
a young-looking person.
Well, look at it this way. There are people who they're living in a trailer somewhere, but they've always they've had those urges that they're sexually attracted to kids. They get on the internet, they get pinched, okay? But there are also those people who end up they have that urge, but they become prominent. They might be a TV weatherman or it's just the luck of the draw.
So get an 18-year-old.
They don't want 18-year-olds. They want kids.
You can get an 18-year-old in high school.
If you could get an 18-year-old, they would. First of all, people want kids because they're malleable. An
What does that
18, you can mold them
Manipulate
to
them. Yeah.
manipulate them. I mean, nobody wants a kid because listen, if you're dating an 18-year-old, you're trying to convince yourself and everybody else that she's an old soul, right? She's really beyond her years. Yeah, right. And nobody's going after the 45-year-old who is exactly on her years. They always want somebody who's beyond their years.
Well, that's why everybody's so happy for Keanu Reeves. Like, oh, Keanu Reeves going out with an age-appropriate woman. How amazing.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Everybody says that, but she's still 10 years younger than he is. So why...
Well, then I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
Well, you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, I think my wife's 10 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. I don't consider that age inappropriate.
Right.
I mean, if you're dating somebody who's half your age...
I think you see so many guys that are his age dating women that are in their late 20s or early 30s. They go, oh, hey, he's dating someone with, she's got silver hair? Cool.
I think that's what threw people off, because at first it was Keanu Reeves is dating Helen Mirren, who's a married woman. But yeah, his girlfriend
doesn't mean she doesn't date.
It's true.
She might be on one of them swinger apps.
But yeah, Keanu's girlfriend or his lady companion or whatever, yeah, she's got gray hair, but she's still a decade younger than he is, because people don't realize Keanu's as old as he is, and she looks older because she's got the gray hair, but they're still 10 years apart. So when people are like, age appropriate, Because half the people were giving him kudos, and the other half were pissed that people
They're not dating
were
him or them.
Well, it was a weird mix of.
Yeah, people get mad.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone cares who Keanu's dating, but they were like, "Oh, he I don't know."
Yeah.
Fact remains is that they're 10 years apart, which who cares? Christy Brinkley's ex-husband,
Peter Cook,
is engaged to a 20-year-old, and he's 60.
Is that age inappropriate?
I think so. I mean, I'm 48, and I wouldn't want to hang out with a 20-year-old.
He's got a daughter that's 21. That's how inappropriate it is.
Her stepmom would be a year younger than her. They say he said she's 21. They think that he's lying about her age because she's 20 and younger than his daughter.
I think I might have to fight someone. I would have to fight you at Thanksgiving dinner if you were sitting next to my dad.
But these are also
your mom brings home a dude and he's
a year
20,
younger than
26.
20. How old are you? 26.
I'm
He's 27.
You're 27. Yeah, brings home a 26-year-old. You're fighting him?
We're gonna have to square up. Hey, you a bitch! Like we will have to square up on Prospect Avenue for
But he's
sure.
gonna knock you on your ass. I mean, it's a kid that's dating your mom.
Nah.
And she's happy.
But yeah, if it makes your mom happy, why do you care?
Why? Yeah, why are you so?
Because I'm selfish, and that's an ego blow.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
Do you have some Oedipal complex? Why is it an ego blow to you if your mom's dating someone your age?
It would just be like, how dare you? Do you know what this is going to do to my reputation? My mom's dating a 26-year-old.
To your reputation.
To my reputation.
You're very selfish. What about
That's
your
very
mom?
selfish.
Your mom has found someone that loves her for who she is.
But I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it.
You're not even giving it a chance.
Your mom, did your mom just turn 60?
She's 61.
Okay. Because her birthday was not long ago, right?
Correct.
What if she was dating a guy, she's 61, what if she was dating a guy who was 50? Okay? 11 years younger. But this guy, amazing, super cool, he's a creative dude.
Full zaddy.
Right? He's just like, yeah, whatever. You're still going to feel the same way, so it's got nothing to do with
No, I
age.
wouldn't.
You're still going to feel threatened because he's a... Why?
I wouldn't feel the same way.
So you're only threatened by age?
Yes, because I feel like someone my age or younger has, like, impure intentions.
His name's Guillermo. He's from the Dominican Republic. He's here to be with your mom.
My mom.
That's right.
My mom would just be
He
there.
has no ulterior motives whatsoever.
My mom would be there for a hot piece.
I love your mother very much.
Who could blame her? And then he would be there for an opportunity. And I'm not with that. You're not about to take advantage of my mama. She's getting ready to be like retirement age. You're not about to get a piece of that.
But put it down.
I don't care. You're not about to get any of mine.
So you're saying that your mother, you don't trust your mother to make her own decisions.
In that instance, no. I'd be like, Mom,
Well,
are you
then in
going to
any
see
instance, that would arguably be the most important instance, who she spends her time with.
I would be like, you lost your mind.
You don't, that may be true. Plenty of people lose their mind over love, Poundcake. What I'm saying is, that means that you don't trust your mother to make her own decisions.
His name's Devin. He's from
Lancashire.
He's got a good job. He doesn't need money. He's just a regular dude.
And he's 27 years old.
27 years old. 26 years old.
Nah, we still have to square up, bro. No, for some reason I don't trust you. I feel like then what would be your reason to be
He
with
loves
my
your mom.
61-year-old mom? But why? How did y'all meet?
They
Like,
met
I
at the hospital,
Mm-mm.
and they were flirting, and it just happens to be what he's into. He likes an older lady with a little bit of sass that loves a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, maybe they met. Maybe they both reached for the last rotisserie
And they
chicken
looked
at
up
the
at
same
each other
time.
and gazed into each other's eyes.
That's right. And then history was made.
He's like, "Can I get your number on your jitterbug?" And she's like, "Here you go."
Jitterbug. By the way, Keanu's girlfriend, Alexandra Grant, Fairview Park native.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Look at that. I think if that's the circumstance where he's got a good job, he's an accountant, makes decent money.
I'm gonna hire a PI. I'm gonna look at him with the side eye. I need some 411. I need to know.
He likes older black ladies.
But your words always give you away. And he said, "You're not cutting into my inheritance."
Yeah.
Which I don't know what the hell he thinks that is.
He might be adding to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I'm gonna be silent. I'm gonna be fake to your face. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna pass you the peas at dinner. But just so you know, I'm investigating you.
I've never, for one moment in my life, thought about my inheritance.
No.
It's such a weird thing for you to constantly be thinking
My
about.
my parents. No, I've never thought about that.
Well, I'm hiring a PI. The little 13 cent I make an hour.
I was going to say, your mom's paying your phone bill. How you going to call the PI? You got to shut your phone off, and you can't call the PI.
Mom, can you help me pay for a PI? Investigate your boyfriend, Devin.
I'll do it myself. I'll be a PI. I'll be a pound cake investigator. Right.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Something sketchy about that. It doesn't work. It's not the same thing. Like there's a double standard. Men can date younger. And no one blinks an eye.
But
no, people bat their eyes all the time.
It's
if
not
you
that
date a younger
uncommon.
girl, everyone's like, you're a creep.
But it's not that uncommon for a mother to date like a
just
young
because,
kid.
but just because something's common doesn't make it any less creepy.
There's still something different. Just like Brooke Hogan's mom.
So what if you found out? Yeah, there's a fantastic example of people who got it all together.
She's real creepy.
But you're pulling out examples of people who are already like touched in the head, no matter who they're dating.
Well,
but say you get your PI, you get Thomas Magnum on the case, and he's reporting back to you, and the guy's clean as a whistle. Like the guy dating your mom, he's 5x5, everything's fine.
Just truly loves your mom.
Model citizen who just sees something in your mom.
I think the PI would be in cahoots, and the guy got to him first, and he's paying him more.
How does the guy know that hiring him? How does the guy know that you've sicked a PI on him?
I don't know.
To be in cahoots with him.
He's smart. He's smart about his scam.
In cahoots.
So you don't want your mom to be with someone who's smart.
And you don't want your mom to be happy.
Happy.
I do.
Then why?
I do under certain conditions.
Under certain conditions.
Poundcake's a big believer in conditional love.
Yes, I see that.
I don't know.
All right,
Bill, you would be okay. You honestly would be okay with one of your classmates dating your mom.
I would sign her up. She needs it.
Bill's like, I don't even remember my classmates.
Okay.
All right,
better you than I. I would have to ponder that. I would have to take a real long cup of like juice and sip on that for a while. I don't know.
A long cup of juice. Not a big cup of juice. A long cup of juice.
I would have to sip it for a very long time and really.
I love how you're like figuring out your mom's life. Can't you figure out your own?
Yeah. Well, hers is easier.
It is?
Well, it's easier to judge and put rules in place.
Easier to judge.
Absolutely. If you ever want to see me again, Mom, this is what you got to do.
I think Poundcake infantilizes his mother, is what I think. He and his brother have mostly had their mom to themselves.
Right.
But his brother's got his own thing going on. So Poundcake's over here feeling threatened by anybody who gets his mom's attention. And I bet you'd even admit to that. I don't think I'm pulling the curtain back.
Nah, my mom,
you'd probably admit to that if you're being honest with yourself.
My mom was married for 12 years.
But she didn't like the guy. You guys hated the guy.
Because he was a terrible person.
Right. So
I'm very protective over my mother.
That's what I'm saying. You finally found this guy. Your mom found a guy. He happens to be young.
But I'm skeptical.
But he's a good guy.
I'm not going to believe right away. I'm not going to believe you the first time.
What would it require
a thorough
to dismiss your skepticism?
He buys you a Taco Bell.
Nah, a thorough background check.
And like I said, in my scenario, that comes up clean.
I need a second opinion.
So there's really you're like a Trump fan. Nothing will convince you that anything. There's no factual information that will change your mind.
Could be faulty. You don't know.
Right.
I need a second opinion.
Okay. Well, listen. In the event that your mom starts dating a 26-year-old, I hope it all works out.
Let's
I hope
make
they're
her a
very,
Tinder.
very happy. I'm telling you what.
I told her about that.
As I think about what I want to do with the show after the first of the year, I need to have a very serious conversation with your mother about submitting to doing a Date Poundcake's mom
Absolutely
segment.
not. Absolutely not.
I will discuss it with her.
Absolutely not.
I don't need to run it past you.
That's an Alan and Teresa conversation.
That's right.
Not a Poundcake conversation.
That's right. Now, on the phone, she could be like, "Get me out of this. Poundcake's driving me crazy."
Nah.
All right. Well, I'll let her speak for herself. We'll figure it out.
Well, I won't.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that PI is going to be checking me out. You don't know that at all.
Maybe she'll want to take a trip over to Squaffle Tower.
Goodbye.
Look at this lake view.
Boy, beat it.
Yeah. All right. I'll take a break. We're going to get 2 people on Poundcake's karting team. If you are 26, you might not want to date his mom, but you want to get behind the wheel for our karting challenge on the 23rd. We'll get to a couple of spots after the break.
I'll say this slow so Steelers fans can understand. You.
challenge. Mary's on the road. She can't join us, but Bill's team, the Cartiac Kids, my team, the Cox Rockets, and Poundcake's team, Squeals on Wheels. You guys are going to join us out at High Voltage Karting and the Foundry Social, and it's going to be a blast. We're going to be racing for time trials, and man, I can't wait. So, you got to double up here. We were out yesterday, so Poundcake's going to get two. Which callers are you going to take? Who's going to go on your team here?
13 and 14.
13 and 14. Good luck. Make it so. You'll join us next Saturday for the karting challenge. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Some people believe there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Very difficult to believe.
So our plan for you to hear this is working perfectly.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
But we can agree on Iron Maiden.
That's good.
And
build on those common beliefs.
I'll tell you what. And if you listen to the show on iHeartRadio, by the way, from outside of Ohio, let me know where you do that. April is a new bureau chief in Moore Park, California. It's out in Ventura County. Jared and Kelly listen in Greensburg, PA. That's about an hour southeast of Pittsburgh. Doug's in Carlsbad, New Mexico. Bushman is out in Denver. Michael's in Colorado Springs. Mark listens down in Key West. Mike's in Kirkland, Washington. Jenny is in Craig, Colorado. And Quayon and Matt are out in San Francisco. So thanks one and all. The Cavs game pushed up an hour tonight. Keep that in mind. It starts at 6 o'clock. So we are out of here 5:30 today. Early show to get the pregame going. And then 6 o'clock, Heat against the Cavs at the Romo Fihjo. Romo Fihjo. And then I'm downtown tonight for the Cox Out pregame. Of course, the Steelers are in town to play the Browns tonight, so do the Cox Out pregames before all the home games. Starts at 6 o'clock tonight. I will leave here and head straight downtown. So come join me and get registered for that Indian motorcycle that we're giving away. That's hanging right there in the window. It's at the Ivy, right downtown, 1212 West 6th Street. So that's 6 o'clock tonight. Browns, Steelers at First Energy. By the way, I guess I should get into the Week 11 picks.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
Yeah, from Terry, who is our game-picking goat. You know, they have the octopus who picks the World Cup games. That's easy to do. That thing's got 8 arms. 8 arms to hold you. Terry the goat only has her mouth. Al is our bureau chief out in Carlton, PA. And he's got a working farm out there. And so Terry is the goat who picks these games. He puts rocks with NFL logos on them in her feed box. And then whatever falls, logo side up, those are her picks. And he sends them every Thursday. And then I go down the list for you. She did pick tonight's game. Sometimes she doesn't pick Thursday night. Sometimes she doesn't pick Monday Night Football. But this week she gave us 11 picks.
Oh, that's the most I think she's ever given us.
She usually gives us 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So we get a bonus.
Ooh, Terry's feeling confident after a down week.
Oh, yeah. Last week she was 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week was a big drop from previous weeks.
Oh, by the way, do you see my shoes?
Oh.
I thought maybe you would have checked it in the break.
No,
I
was
just walked over and showed
doing some other thing. That's okay.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, they're just like Air Force Ones, but
they're
they're a
not
little
flashy
more booty.
either. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They got a little
a little
pop of
booty.
color.
What did you say?
They're sneakers that are actually boots.
Oh,
yeah,
a little more booty.
Yeah, a little more
I
booty,
see.
yeah.
Bootish. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
bootish, yes.
didn't know what you meant. So
at Bill Squire on Instagram if you want to see those. All right, let's do some picks.
Yeah, let me find. I have the list printed out, but I wanted to find the. Oh, here we go. Because you always send us a clip. I'm not going to show you the video, but I'll air it for you here.
Here we are back in Carlton, Pennsylvania, and even though we have inclement weather here, Terry the Goat is once again enthusiastic about making her predictions for this week. Last week was a little rough. She was 4-5, and that's the first time since week 3 that she went under 500. So hopefully this week she will do better.
She had a good run.
Terry decided that this week she would wear her Lucky Browns hat so that she...
And that's Steeler country, too, probably.
Yeah, right?
Carlton's either Steeler or Eagles country. Yeah, week 3 and 4, she went 2-8. So
improves her picks for week number 11. The results will be posted.
Get those rocks falling
on Thursday.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna tease you those picks. I got to give you $1,000 here, a chance for you to go fund yourself every hour. Okay, listen closely. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword SQUARE to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's SQUARE to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
Football all the way, football all the way. Yeah, I wouldn't say football all the way, football all the way, football all the way. Yeah, I wouldn't say football all the way.
Okay, so this week Terry the Goat made 11 picks, including tonight's game, the Browns versus the Steelers at First Energy Stadium. So if in weeks past you have taken Terry's direction and placed any bets, this is your week 11 info. Do you want me to start with tonight or end with tonight?
Oh, I think end with tonight.
End with tonight. All right.
I'm wearing a Dangerous shirt. It's like, Baker Mayfield. Feeling dangerous.
Yeah.
And one of the sales guys walking by and from far away goes, "Oh, I thought that said cancerous." And I laughed so goddamn hard. Why do I wear a shirt that says cancerous?
Well, at this point in the season, it's more apropos.
Yeah. Feeling cancerous.
I'm feeling cancerous today. All right. The Washington Redskins over the New York Jets. Now, if any of these jump out at you as extraordinarily unlikely, you let me know.
No, I mean, that one's likely.
Jets stink. They both stink this season.
Yeah, that's one of those suck bowls.
The Bills over the Dolphins.
That's likely.
The Lions over the Cowboys.
Ooh, that'd be an upset.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Texans over the Ravens. That would be an upset too, wouldn't it?
A little bit, but those are both very good teams.
Okay.
Where are they playing? Are they playing in Texas?
Don't know.
Yeah. That's going to be a good game.
Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Saints.
That'd be a bit of an upset, but I could see that happening.
Okay. Denver Broncos over the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, that's unlikely.
Okay. The 49ers over the Cardinals.
That seems like a good pick.
They've got 49ers have Janine Garofalo. Cardinals have Kurt Warner.
No.
It's a pretty good matchup.
I'll give you $10 if you can name the quarterback for the Cardinals. He's the number 1 overall draft pick this year.
Is his name Sam?
No.
Did they have Sam Bradford? They
No.
had. They
maybe
didn't-
for a minute.
They had him for
Yeah.
the Cardinals.
5, 4.
Yeah, I know. You'll
3,
tell me, and I'll.
2, 1. Kyler Murray.
We would have never gotten that.
No.
Okay.
I knew you wanted.
Thank you. Eagles over the Patriots. Patriots, of course, have Drew Brees there in the QB spot.
Drew Brees? You mean Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah, Bledsoe. Oh, God.
Drew Brees.
He was Brady's precursor, yeah? He replaced Drew Bledsoe. Yeah,
Right.
Drew Brees is with the Saints, yeah?
Yes.
Bledsoe. Damn it.
What team was Drew Brees on before he was on the Saints?
Cincinnati Bengals.
No. San Diego Chargers.
Oh, okay. Bengals over the Raiders. That seems very unlikely.
Very unlikely. That's a bad pick, Terry.
Does Richard Sherman play for the 49ers?
Yeah.
Man, I had no idea that he was over there. Yep. Okay.
And then the Browns and...
Rams over the Bears. That's likely. I don't like that, but that is likely. And then finally, Thursday Night Football. Tonight, here in Cleveland, Ohio. Terry the Goat. An extra pick this week. She usually gives us 9 or 10. Her 11th pick this week. Thursday Night Football. She picks the Cleveland Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah! Be right about that.
There you go.
You can go 1 in 10, and as long as you're right about that one, I'm happy with you, Terry.
Okay, so that's week 11. Those are her picks out there in Carlton, PA. Browns over the Steelers. I think that's absolutely doable. These are not the Super Bowl Steelers that have been playing this season.
They have a good defense, though, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Hey, the Browns have a lot of good pieces, too. They just aren't fitting together right now.
I know, and I think they're starting to.
Okay, well, there you go.
If Freddie can coach the game properly and not just be an idiot, then
there's no time like the present.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the game last week?
Any of the Browns game?
The Browns game.
Yeah, I watched a little bit, sure.
Yeah, those goal line stands that didn't get us any points. We had like 2 series, 9 plays from like the 1 yard line, no points.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, I saw that they're looking into the sign calling in baseball or something. What was that whole story?
Oh, the Astros are stealing signs.
Stealing signs.
Yeah, they're cheaters.
Listen, when I was in college, who didn't have a stop sign on the wall? You know, I mean, it's considered.
You think this guy would just buy their own? They're all so rich.
Man, why don't you? It was, you look back and you go, it's so stupid. But it was kind of a badge of something. You know, you would steal signs all the time. You'd put, if you were a guy that had a lot of chicks over, you'd get that merge sign, yuck, 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 or stops, or whatever. So for them to want to dig into the entire Houston Astros organization.
You get those street signs and you see them after you get them down off the pole, really big.
Yeah.
You have no idea they're going to be so big.
Are. Yeah. You're like, this thing's the size of a flag that's usually flying over a car dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So, stealing signs. It's like counting cards.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Which there's no way to know how many cards there are.
I wish I could tell. I mean, I've tried many, many times.
You can count and you can count, but they're just going to keep going.
You're not going to know. Yeah. Yeah, Carlton, PA, that's tough because it's not far from the border. So it's about an hour 45 north of Pittsburgh, but it's like due east of Cleveland.
Yeah. That could be Steelers country, that could be Browns country, that could be even Buffalo Bills fans out there.
It's almost equidistant from Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Carlton, PA. Yeah, because when you're on the border, if you're in Zanesville, Ohio, a lot of Steeler fans there.
Right.
They feel more of an allegiance there than they do the Browns. Right? Zanesville. I used to work with a kid from Zanesville, and he said everybody was way into the Steelers.
By Youngstown?
Yeah, I think you're right. I was thinking of Xenia. I'm like, that's south.
Yeah, that's
right
by Dayton.
Yeah.
I mean, Zanesville is not far from West Virginia. So anyway, who cares? So what would that mean? I mean, if they go back and they go, they were stealing signs, it's not like they're going to do anything about it. They're not going to go, you're not World Series champs anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do other than say, hey, stop doing that. But they can look into it, and there'll be some penalty maybe.
I tell you what.
I don't know what, though.
It's still pretty impressive that people can steal those huge signs and get away with it. And I don't remember how we got our sign. I'm assuming someone stole it.
Right, but it's not like law enforcement's in your dorm room.
No, I know, but it was like a huge Highway 60 mile an hour sign, and it was on our.
You took the
wall.
Speed limit sign.
Yeah, and it was in our house for parties, and somehow, some way, someone took it off of the wall. It was nailed to the wall. Someone took it off the wall and stole it, and somehow they got out of our house without anybody seeing them during a party. And they
took it out of your house. Well, you guys were, okay.
Yeah, we were having a party. It was on the wall. It was nailed to the wall. And this sign was probably about, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 feet tall.
So they had to have friends looking out for them then.
Something. And if they, and we stole it. So, to each his own. I mean, you can steal it too, I guess. But like, I was pretty impressed. I'm like, you deserve it after that. I don't know how they got that out of the house and no one saw them.
Alan, I had cancer removed from my face some time ago, and a poker-playing buddy of mine made shirts that said, "You can't read my cancer face."
Ooh.
There you go.
That's, yeah.
Was he a winner, though?
There's a lady that's been coming to my comedy shows, and she had a double mastectomy, and she's got a shirt that says, I lost my boobs, not my sense of humor.
So those aren't sloppers?
No. She's getting new ones, though, she told us.
They're noppers? Not at all?
What?
I don't know.
Sloppers?
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Browns have gotten rid of Antonio Callaway, by the way.
Oh, they cut him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Saw that coming.
I don't know why.
Who is he? He's not the dude. They got rid of the guy who told the fan to go kill himself or something.
Yeah, we got rid of him. This is a guy that we drafted 2 seasons ago. I think this is his second season, and he had some, like, drug problems and stuff like that. So
the official line from the team is that he had, quote, too many issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
don't the NFL?
He tested positive for pot at the combine.
Yep.
Think about that. You're going to show yourself.
Basically, a multi-million-dollar job interview.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And you go, I need a little weed.
But don't the NFL, like, don't they hire private investigators for stuff like that?
I'm sure they do.
Background, and people still, like,
they can
make the team, and then somehow later they find out, oh, we had no idea he had a drug problem.
No, it's not that. It's that if these guys can deliver, what was he doing? I mean,
He's a wide receiver.
I know that, but was he playing or doing well?
No, he wasn't doing well. He showed up to
go.
camp overweight this year. Like
There
he
you
was
go.
not. He just wasn't like trying to make it on the team.
Well,
They'll bend over backwards for dudes that are out there killing it.
I just think about, like, my only example, like the one that comes to mind is Aaron Hernandez. They knew he was a ball of trouble when they signed him, and they still signed him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
delivered.
was in
Yeah.
the Crips or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
right? Yeah, but wasn't he a killer out there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
On and off the field.
He's just so damn hot, though. That's one murderer that I'm like, oh, what a waste.
Okay, listen, I've got a break here. I'm going to have Monsters tickets for you. When you go, Alan, I don't care about basketball. I don't care about football. I'm a hockey fan. Well, I feel you. Monsters are going to play my Chicago Wolves on the 22nd at the Romo Fihjo. So I'll get you a couple of tickets for that after the break. 35192 if you want to text.
$20 to anyone who drops off a blood stain.
sucks. Yeah, next Friday night.
Hard.
Yeah, it really is. Cleveland Monsters taking on the Chicago Wolves at the Romo Fihjo. Every Friday night game is a 1-2-3 Friday. That's $1 Pepsi products, $2 Sugardale hot dogs, $3 select beer specials. That math is not hard. ClevelandMonsters.com for any of the info. Monsters, Wolves, next Friday, downtown. Good luck. Caller 12, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Hello. Alexa, play 100.7 WMMS on iHeartRadio.
Here you go.
From the Final Touch Construction Roofing Expert Studios, it's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Cleveland.
An iHeartRadio station.
35192. Want to send me a text about 6 minutes from now. Your next shot to get to L.A. for our sold-out Alter Ego Festival. Black Keys, Blink-182, Billie Eilish, who dropped a new song today.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't hear it, though.
It's pretty good. I was checking to see where Nine Inch Nails was in the leaderboard standings for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame fan vote. It looks relatively unchanged. Dave Matthews Band is away in front. It was Pat Benatar in the top spot for a long, long time. You can vote through the first week of January, I think. The fan vote for the 2020 Hall of Fame class. The top 5, I don't know that anyone has changed other than the Dave Matthews Band leapfrogging Pat Benatar for the top spot. Dave Matthews himself saying publicly that it would be very strange if they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ahead of a lot of these other bands, and I can't say I disagree with them. Dave Matthews Band, Pat Benatar, Doobies, Soundgarden, Judas Priest, I think have remained the top 5 unchanged. Depeche Mode 6, Whitney Houston, Thin Lizzy. Motorhead and Nine Inch Nails are down there. I'm kind of surprised. I know Motorhead, I don't know that you can call them a fan favorite. I've always been a huge fan. I think they absolutely belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And again, this is just the fan vote.
Which counts as one vote.
One vote, one ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tough class. The MC5 coming in dead last in the fan vote. Yeah, but 4.1 million votes have been cast in total. But even if Nine Inch Nails doesn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Trent Reznor got a CMA award.
What? How?
That's the Country Music Awards. Huh? Yeah.
Okay. That's strange.
Because he was a producer on Old Town Road.
Ah,
did you know that?
I did not know that. That's great, though.
I'll tell you what.
That's really cool.
This Trent Reznor, he's really having a great second act as a composer.
He's incredible.
They do the Watchmen score, if you're watching the Watchmen.
He's done a bunch of movies.
Yeah. Social Network, and that might have been one of the first ones he did, but his boy Atticus Ross.
Did he do Girl with a Dragon Tattoo?
I think he did, yes. Yeah. Produced that Karen O version of Immigrant Song. The Led Zeppelin cover.
Yeah.
So they've been doing this for a while, and apparently he was a producer on the Lil Nas X mega hit with Achy Breaky, what's his name?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Raymond Cyrus.
Miley's dad. William Raymond Cyrus. That's right. William Shart Cyrus, Esquire. So, yeah, Trent Reznor got a Country Music Award. Country Music Association Award. So there you go.
And good for him.
Because, this is how it works, I guess. He didn't produce the song. I misspoke. But there is a sample of one of his songs in the song.
Oh, okay.
And so Trent Reznor gets a piece of that. Nine Inch Nails had a song called 34 Ghosts. And there's a little banjo piece in that. And they use that sample in, it's like if the team wins the Super Bowl, even the secretary gets a ring.
Yeah.
Same thing with this.
Tell you what, I love that 9-year-old girl. She should be in the Rock Hall.
The girl playing the drums?
Houston. Yeah. Have you watched any of that
I
yet?
have.
Yeah. When she's just playing, and she just starts screaming, and it's great. It's great.
You go to AlanCoxShow.com. There is a video there. 9-year-old drummer rocks out. Her name's Nandi Bushell. And what she lacks in finesse, she makes up for in just enjoyment of playing. Enthusiasm. Playing Nirvana in Bloom. And she knows what she's doing enough to where, this is a British girl, I think, but because I was like, okay, well, Nirvana's not hard to play. And then she's playing System of a Down. I mean, that part's just bashing. But then she's playing Kiss by Prince.
Yeah.
And she's got good cymbal work. So she clearly knows what's going on.
She's good.
Yeah. So she's Nandi Bichelle on, well, go to AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch it. And then if you want to follow her, you should. I love to see young kids who pick up an instrument. I'm biased because I'm a drummer, but I mean, you pick up anything. Jesus, did you see about the woman with the Miami Symphony, the oboe player?
Oh, no.
Who died when she fell? No. Oboe! What happened?
Oh, no.
A woman who was getting ready to play, Janice Thompson. She was a beloved member of the Miami Symphony. And I don't know how highly regarded they are. You know, say what you want about Cleveland, but the Cleveland Symphony is world-renowned.
They're incredible.
Yes. So I assume the Miami Symphony has got its fans, too. This woman is 62. She was going down a flight of stairs minutes before the season-opening concert performance.
Man.
And she fell down the steps and hit her head on the tile floor of the lobby. So she's in the lobby.
Ooh.
She wasn't like in a stairwell or something. And you figure she's dressed up. She's probably wearing heels.
Mm-hmm.
One band member said she was in the lobby when she heard a bone-crunching splat.
Ouch. Bone-crunching splat.
A bone-crunching
splat. Usually you think of a splat being more of a soft sound, but bone-crunching splat, that is very descriptive. Oh.
Either half of that description would be gross enough. Like, here's a splat.
Or bone-crunching.
Right. Here is a bone-crunching splat.
Yeah.
That's what they said it sounded like, I guess. She said, we turned around, everybody was screaming, and she was bleeding on the floor. They took her to the hospital where she died the next day. But Jesus, I mean, you certainly, if you're an oboe player, you don't think that's how you're going to go. I mean, first of all, you lived through getting beaten up all through school, only to go out this way. I mean, she's a female, so she probably didn't get beaten up. But
how do you go on with the show? I mean, I know they say the show must go on, but like my nostrils would be flaring while I'm playing. Like, I don't even know.
I don't know if they canceled it or not. They said
it's
that
one person.
I mean, does anybody even want to watch a show without the lead oboist?
Not only that, imagine your second chair oboe.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was first chair.
That's not how you want to get promoted to first chair.
No.
You want to earn it.
It's like, Beverly, all right. Grab your bow and let's go.
Beverly, grab your bow and let's go.
It's like, yeah, my big break. Oh, my God.
My big break came after Janice's last break. Yeah, that's so gross, though. She probably had heels on. You know, you're walking down those marble steps in some grand, whatever the symphony hall is. Ugh. Hey, I got a trip to L.A. for you. There are no oboe players that I'm aware of in any of these bands. Our third annual Alter Ego Festival is going on at the Forum in L.A. And this is going to be on January the 18th. And there's only 2 chances every weekday for you to win. You get 9 o'clock with Rover, 5 o'clock with me. That's Black Keys, Blink-182, Billie Eilish, Lumineers, and more, okay? Trip, tickets, the whole schmear for you and a pal. So good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Time for your shot at a trip to our iHeartRadio Alter Ego now. Text the nationwide keyword PARTY to the number 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's PARTY to the number 200-200. Good luck from 100.7 WMMS.
By the way, people had some thoughts about Poundcake's mom robbing the cradle.
Leave my poor mother out of this.
Well, more some thoughts about your reaction to it.
I don't care about what they think.
Alan, what kind of cut-rate private investigator is Poundcake hiring if he gets immediately found out and bought off? I don't know. Alan, I am 50. My wife is 30. I went to school with her parents.
But that's the double standard he was talking about, where
That
when a
is
man
different.
with a younger woman is more common, but an older woman with a younger man, that's a little strange.
Yes, it's a double standard, and I know it's a double standard, but it is what it is.
Let me go back here. Who else? There's a lot of texts in here.
Is there anyone on his side?
Yeah. Well,
What?
somebody
Yeah.
said that their mom is dating. Yeah, there were a couple people on his side.
There is an episode of Flicks and Bill. There is a story about a girl whose mom banged her boyfriend.
But see, no, that's not even on the same topic because we weren't talking about someone banging your boyfriend.
Right, I know.
There's levels.
I'm just saying, like the age difference was there.
Alan, my mom dated someone I went to high school with, and it was really weird. I have to agree with Poundcake.
I'm
on
sorry,
this
that's
one.
weird.
The old rabbit from 8 Mile.
Well, but the weird part about that is that they know the person, not that the age.
Both.
If it was but it would be less weird if it was a stranger that was 26.
Right.
But if it's somebody you went to high school with, you go, "Oh my God, this guy was stuffing me in a locker."
That's what I'm saying. Like, Mom, you're
Or-
gonna date.
Now he's stuffing my mom in the back.
Mom, you're gonna date Benny? Really, Benny, the one that used to pick his nose in class and flick him? Like,
Well,
really?
now he's
So he's
flicking
not
those books
eating
at
them.
your mom. That's right.
It's better
What
that
if Poundcake's mom wanted to marry a 26-year-old millionaire?
No.
No.
Because I would feel like he would have some impure intentions.
But what are his intentions if he's already rich? Your mom's not going to make him rich.
But rich people don't make you, just because you're rich doesn't mean you're a nice person. Like,
what do you know about rich people?
He knows a lot. He knows everything about rich people. He knows how they have their orgies.
You're
and
the one
their
talking
sex
about
islands,
that's
all
true.
that stuff. Yeah.
You're the one talking about your inheritance. Here's somebody who wants to marry your mom. Man, he's going to cut you in.
No, first of all, my mom can't be bought, and two,
Not
like,
bought. I'm
know
just
that.
saying, if it's a rich person, he
You
happens
don't
to
know
be
that.
rich.
Your mom could definitely be
you
bought.
don't know that.
No, I just
Your mom could be bought.
No, she can't. But I feel like I would feel like you have some impure intentions. Like what? You're just gonna use my mom as property? You just want her to make you food every day when you're coming home from work? Like what?
And
would
she
you
doesn't have to
want?
work anymore? Oh, that sounds nice. She's worked her whole life for ungrateful children.
And now she's gonna have a big stinky man that's gonna not appreciate her.
No, he appreciates her. He's happy to be there, to have her there.
Only her kids have that right to not appreciate her
That's
when
what-
she does something for them. So
All right.
The jealousy is what it comes down to.
it's not jealousy. I don't understand how I'm the weird one when you're talking about dating someone who's like 25 and you're a 61-year-old woman, and that is like these are your peers. I'm just squaring up with
I
this
just
dude.
want my mom to be happy.
Looking, eyeing this dude up. No. At the kitchen table, just supposed to make small talk. So, anyways, don't you remember when we graduated? Like, no.
I like how in all these scenarios you lay the guy out. Like your mom
Yeah,
brings
all of a sudden
your
you
mom
can fight well?
Your mom brings home some like 26-year-old MMA fighter or something. All of a sudden you're laying him out.
I'll grab like a broom or something, smack him with it.
A broom.
Something.
Get out of here. You're not shooing a
I'm
raccoon.
gonna shoot him away.
You've got a guy
Make him crawl up the chimney.
who wants to. All right.
Nah, man. Forget that. Alan, just stop trying to make it seem like it's not weird.
No one said it's not weird.
I'm just
saying that
saying.
we want your mom to be happy.
I don't want
And
her
if
to be
she's
happy.
getting-
I don't want her to be
if
happy
she's getting
under
dinged down
those.
by a 26-year-old that makes her happy.
Here's someone who's laying it down right.
Absolutely not.
You know, he's cool with the fact that she has a schedule of a vampire.
He's
you know,
okay that she's a little older. He can do the whole Netflix and pills thing.
No, I'm not even gonna go there with you.
there you go. He'd come home and he'd say, "Tea kettle, Taco Bell, dinner's on me." Right? What's the matter with that?
Oh, don't you worry, Teresa. I got you one of your good chickens.
Is he a millionaire because he owns Taco Bells? Because then that's going to be a conflict of interest.
Sure, if that helps you.
Ooh.
Sure.
I would really have
What
to.
if he owns a string of Chick-fil-A's?
Oh, your morals are getting a little looser, huh?
I'm not gonna be selective like on. I said it, so I'm gonna go.
We don't know if his mom can be bought. He can absolutely be bought.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
I love my mom more than Chick-fil-A, so
Do
no.
you? Do you, though?
No.
Do you, though?
No.
Your mom loves you. Chick-fil-A, you just want to taste the hate.
He can still own Chick-fil-A's and be a bad person.
Alan, my dad's girlfriend is younger than my oldest sibling. It's his business, and he's happy. I don't want him nosing around in my dating life, so I'm not getting into his.
But it's different. You got to look after your parents after a certain age because they can be.
Not if they're significant others.
By the way,
30 years younger
you
than
talk
them, then
about
it's
your
up to
mother
them.
like she's in the throes of dementia.
No.
If it was somebody coming in to take, if it was an Anna Nicole Smith, Howard Marshall situation or whatever that guy's name was.
But I know how kids my age think. So I'm not about to allow my mom to be taken advantage of by some hot young.
I think it's cute that you still refer to yourself as a kid and you're 27.
I am a kid.
You're a grown-ass man.
I'm a kid.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not going to allow my mommy to be thrown. Mm-mm.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, listen. Tomorrow night, right? I'm going to see the King Diamond show. I'm so excited. He is 63. His wife, who I think is a background singer for the band, she's 34.
There you go.
They just had a kid. Because she ain't 63, he is. Things can be done.
Nope, it's different.
Alan, my husband and I are celebrating our first anniversary today, and we're 17 years apart.
He is a man. I'm imagining he's older than him.
All
than
right.
her.
By the way, they added to that King Diamond show, Bone Crunching Splat is opening up tomorrow night.
Men are pigs.
Miami is a second home for the Cleveland Orchestra. Is that true?
Oh, I did not know that.
What does that mean, a second home?
They have a
perform there a lot?
residency there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, that's why that club down there is called the Clevelander.
Oh,
They play there all the time, yeah.
I've eaten there.
I've never been there.
The Cleveland, it's right on the ocean.
I know. I wish we could have gone when we had that layover, but it would have been too much work.
Mm-hmm. Alan, I had a man 5 years older than me ask for my permission to date my mom. Now she's dating... Wait,
what?
I'm just going to read this as written. I had a man 5 years older than me ask for my permission to date my mom. Now she's dating my dead half-sister's husband. I feel like we've talked to that person before. Sounds familiar.
That sounds like
Or
too much to
convoluted.
remember.
I was going to say, that's levels of messy.
Yeah.
My grandma married my mom's ex.
Oh, hell no. Oh, see, then now I have to talk about biting my mom. Like, if she do something like that, we going to have to square up.
Right.
I know I don't want him, but you can't have him neither. Mom.
Alan, it's 2019. It just sounds like Poundcake's mom wanted to see what all this eating ass is about, so she got herself a youngin'. Maybe.
You people are
disgusting. She's a medical professional.
Yeah,
She's
you guys
familiar
are
with...
disgusting.
She's familiar with all that.
That's why I don't want no big, stinky man.
Oh, come on, big stinky man. What do you care?
Great ass!
All right, I've got a break, okay? Cavs game early tonight, so your pregame is set to start around 5:30. And then 6 o'clock, it's going to be Cavs Heat down at the Romo Fihjo. You want to get the last word in, do it here, 35192 to text.
It's Steelers week.
Here we go, Brownies.
Sensing level behind.
Here we go.
Let's go. 100.7
AWOL Nation and Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness. We're already looking at next summer for shows. They're doing the Lightning Riders tour all next summer. It brings them to the Agora on Tuesday, June the 2nd. AgoraCleveland.com. Want to look into tickets. Show info. AWOL Nation, Andrew McMahon. Be a good lineup. A couple of tickets here for you. Caller 12. You get those. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The only show proudly serving the living with a friend's grandma fetish community.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
That's the last time I can play that.
Yeah.
You're getting your keys for Squifle Tower tomorrow.
Get the keys tomorrow. My bed gets delivered Monday. So Monday will be the first night that I stay there.
Oh, you're not going to stay there before the bed's there?
No, I don't think so.
You don't want a lady to come over and christen the floors?
Nah, it's all right.
Break a bottle of champagne against them?
Yeah.
The hull of a ship?
It's going to be a busy weekend, though.
I understand.
Yeah, a lot of moving things around.
Sure.
I ordered a bunch of stuff off of Amazon to have it delivered tomorrow and Saturday, so I'll get all that stuff set up. And I got a couch from Northeast Factory Direct. And
will you and Grandma have like a farewell dinner? I know you're
That's
only
kinda what
moving.
we're doing tonight,
You're only
honestly.
moving a floor away.
Yeah.
But okay.
I mean, we'll probably do a little celebratory thing this weekend, to be honest. But this Saturday...
This is, by the way, this is Downtown Train by Rod Stewart, who has spent 23 years putting together a model railway
living my
system.
dream.
He's living Bill Squire's dream. He is on the cover of Railway Modeler magazine, unveiling his 23-year-long project of creating a very detailed model train landscape.
Oh, he set
And
the
I
bar
couldn't
real
help
high.
I
Set the
couldn't
bar
think
real
of
high.
help but think of young Bill Squire doing the very same thing. All right, go ahead.
All right.
What you got coming up?
This Saturday, I'm going to be at the Sprint at Steelyard Commons from 4 to 6. So come on down, bring a toy for the toy drive, and say hi. You'll have a chance to win $25 every 15 minutes, and you can register to win $250 gift card. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m., the tickets for Bill Squire's Christmas Kwanzaa 2 go on sale for the show at the Agora December 29th. So get those tickets. Let's do a one-day sellout. You know,
I'm giving some away next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One-day sellout is what I'm probably not going to happen, but, you know, it's a dream. It's a goal. We'll see
Listen,
what happens.
if you're following Rod Stewart's dream, you can follow the dream of selling it out in one day.
Yeah. 1 hour sellout would be.
I was going to say, let's set the bar even higher. 1 hour. Sell it out in 1 hour.
15 minutes.
Well,
all right.
Poundcake, anything you want to throw in?
Just Radio Cody B on Twitter and Insta.
Okay, good. I will see you guys downtown in a matter of minutes at the Ivy, 1212 West 6. We do the Cox Out pre-games before all of the Browns home games. Tonight is no different, so it starts up at 6 o'clock. I will see you there. Browns and Steelers tonight. Got another shot to win $1,000 here in a minute, and then your Cavs pregame is set to go. They push that game up an hour, so 6 o'clock. They will start up downtown at the Romo Fihjo against the Heat. And that is all. Thank you guys very much for hanging out today. We'll do it all again tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Have a good night tonight. Go Browns, go Cavs, and I will see you